tournament mo ay punong-puno ng world champion. Isa lang talaga ang lulusot. And ang problema lang ngayon, ang dami kasing contender.
Yeah, what a season we've had. I think, you know, leading up to this point, 8 weeks flew by through season 17, and it all highlighted here throughout the season.
Who'd have thought that we would end up in a place like this, a beautiful, historic place like San Juan Arena, with the world champions from M7 at number 6, facing off against the M6 champions in Onyx, and then, get this, maagang nakapasok ang Omega number 4, tailed by Twisted Minds.
Yeah, they weren't the only plot twist. Of course, we had the entrance of Tracy for Twisted Minds to revitalize their run late in the season. But of course, you see the Titans up on top. TLPH and Falcons are waiting in the second round. Onyx, Omega, Twisted, and Aurora. 2 of those teams go forward. 2 of those teams get eliminated.
At sa hinaba-haba ng history ng ating liga na patuloy pa rin sinusubaybayan ng mga Pilipino, narito ang ating mga manlalaro na ilang beses nang nakuha ang kampyonato. Look at Carl TZ and JP. Humihiling pa rin na makakuha ng pang-anim.
Hindi pa talaga tapos to para kay Carlito, no? Kaya nga sinasabi natin na ipagpapatuloy niya na ipagpapatuloy. Siguro
Active
kahit
banget.
50 anyos na mag-ML pa rin.
Alam mo, ang dahil yung cabinet and feeling, feeling ko punong-puno na ng trophy. Kanina nakita natin na showcase sa video, nakakalat
Baka panpas malam-malam ito.
I love what he said too at the end there, you know, for the international viewers too. I know they also had the same reaction. In the strongest region, he claims he is the strongest.
And of course, for the first day of the playoffs of the strongest, toughest, most difficult, brutal region in the global MLBB ecosystem, as we mentioned it's 2 world champions facing off against each other in the opening match of the playoffs. You can literally only say that in the Philippines.
And I hope you guys are ready because given it's a holiday today, nobody went to the
Doon
office.
sana beli makan doon sana.
Have to strap in for a long day.
Yes.
Tonight, possibly the best of 5 you'll see ever, wherein the last one goes up against the plot twist. I think that's the one that'll go the distance.
You know, when we look at both of these series na mapapanood natin ngayong araw na to, parang nakakalungkot na tanggapin na may dalawang team na kailangan ng umuwi pagkatapos ng araw na ito. This is just the play-ins para sa lahat. And for Onyx and Aurora na mapapanood po natin sa pinakauna nating serye, ay dalawa na nakatikim na ng World Championship. Parehas gustong makarating ng Paris, pero mahaba ang actually kalsada na tatahakin nila patungo sa gusto nila makuha goal.
Yeah, totoo yan. Lalo na ngayon na ang dami kasing doubters din ng Aurora Gaming. At ang Onyx Philippines naman, napunta siya dun sa footing na parang sakto lang eh.
Yeah.
Diba? Hindi sila yung pinakamalakas, hindi rin sila yung pinakamahina.
Yeah.
Nandun pa lang sila sa gitna eh.
Tama kayo, nandun yung doubt, nandun din yung pressure. Kasi nga, being world champions at their own rights. Mind you, M6 and M7. Tama si Renmar, dito mo lang pwede sabihin yan sa MPL Philippines. Maglalaglag ka ng isang kampiyon. And for Aurora, ang laki ng task na galing ang World Championship, kailangan mong pumalag, kailangan mong kunin yung unang local title mo for your franchise. But that's also very true for Onyx Philippines. Savero is a living pressure.
He is. He claimed it himself, what, week 1 or 2, when he was said, you know, I'm the pressure, when everyone was asking him how he felt about being in the gold lane and being the only import here in the MPL Philippines. And he's had a phenomenal run throughout the regular season. I'd love to see him continue on alongside the Super Fam if they can get through today.
A dozen heroes,
A dozen.
a play style that you can only see here in the Philippines. Hindi siya ganito sa Indo eh. I saw him when he was new. I saw him in his debut, what was that, early 2025 Snapdragon Pro Series. Iba siya, going up against Kelra, the gold standard. He's learned a lot in his time in FPLPH.
Yeah, there are Filipino gold laners admitting just how surprised they are with how good Savero is in the laning phase. He is going out for blood every time you go up against him. In the gold lane, he will hunt for that kill.
And looking at the hardships of a champion, parehas kang nakakuha na ng kampyonato, parehas sa kupunan na ito. And when we look at the
bis
stats,
makan
ay
natin,
talagang nakikita
ito.
natin na nagsastruggle talaga ang mga teams matapos sila makuha yung mga malalaking championships na nakamit ng dalawang ito.
Yeah, and I would like to quote all the past champions, all the coaches na nag-spearhead na ng international campaign ng mga teams natin. It's easy winning the championship, but it's so damn hard to be a champion.
Yeah, because we've heard it in a lot of the videos we got to share with the teams, especially Aurora. You know, and what the other players thought about Aurora, how after winning a world championship, like what was the drastic change that they went through during season 17, where they struggled so much. And I feel like even at the end of the last week of the regular season, you saw the sigh of relief, not just from the players, but also the huge fan base that they have to get to this point. So what does that break, what, a week and a half, bring now for Aurora?
Yeah, it's not even a meta shift, it's a mindset shift. Aurora has admitted it feels like all of the teams watched our M7 campaign and said, all right, good luck coming back home. Thank you for winning another world championship for the Philippines, but you're not going to be able to win one here because we're going to make it tough for you. And I love how we're featuring these two. We talked about Severo, TENGKYU. I'm excited to see how he's going to deliver against the pressure.
I am guilty for being one of those naysayers. Madalas ko nababanggit sa videos ko kasi nga nababanggit naman sa community. Hot takes, they say, TENGKYU can't carry.
Emang iya.
But today, maybe he can. Maybe he should. Because after this, paalampas ng play-ins, 2 lives in the playoffs.
At sobrang importante nun for Aurora and both Onyx. Honestly, dahil ito rin ang pinakaunang season ni Severo dito sa MPL Philippines. The first active import na makikita natin bilang gold laner na malaki din ang role na pinalitan. Again, this was the replacement for Kelra, the gold standard. And now, between these two gold laners, ay makikita natin mamaya kung sino nga ba yung mas makakabuhat dahil isang chance lang ang meron sila. Bisitahin natin itong hot take ni Midnight. Prepare ka na ng depensa mo.
Picture ko na naman.
Kamusta pare? Sabi mo dito sa dalawang Filipino World Champions na ito, ang best performance ay galing sa isang Indonesian.
Yes. Actually, galing to sa isang mabuting kaibigan natin. Itatawag siya sa sa Bossing M.
Ayan.
Bossing M. I would like to agree kasi in a world na kung saan yung buong Pilipinas sinasabi na ang laki ng pressure na mag-perform dito sa MPL Philippines, especially replacing the gold standard that is Kelra, sabi ni Severo, paliktarin natin yung script. Ako magpa-perform, kayo humabol sa akin. And we've seen that throughout the regular season. Mind you, Onyx Philippines, there were a couple of times we've seen them struggle, even King Kong, even Super Prince. Severo, all throughout regular season, stable for performance. Dare I say, even outperforming the local gold laners.
Halfway through the season, baka hot take pa to. Pero ngayon sa playoffs, feeling ko, ang tanong na lang is, totoo bang experiment yung magiging import ni Severo? Para
Switching nga pa.
panalo.
Well, bago pa uminit ang diskusyon natin dito mas lalo, ay palamigin muna natin ating
Masaya.
mga sarili. Pumunta tayo sa ating on-ground panel.
Maraming salamat sa ating mga casters. This is Hans Galeria together with Wolf at kami ang inyong magiging on-ground panel para sa araw na ito. In fact, our casters already talked about a bunch of different things. Sa kung paano ba mananalo and what were some of the hot takes that even Midnight has mentioned kanina lamang.
Nakaramdam nga tayo ng init ngayon because of those statements. But what we do know is this is going to be a very tight match. Kaya naman, ang dalawang teams natin kailangan talagang mag-focus. They also have to start with the draft. Isa sa mga na-notice ko, Hans, na dalawang teams na tayo, kapag nagkamali sila sa mga priority heroes sa kanilang draft pattern, biglang nahihirapan na silang makahanap pa ng mga additional na panalo dun sa mismong game. Parang dun sila nalulugi, hindi dun sa draft mismo, dun sa order of picks na meron sila. And also, when you're looking at Onyx, Philippines naman, nung gawin up against sa Team Aurora, ang kailangan nila gawin ay manage yung mapa. At ipuwersa nila maging greedy yung side laners ng Aurora. Kasi naman, pag ang Aurora ay masyadong greedy, parang nawawalan sila ng control sa mapa. And with Onyx Philippines, lalo na yung pag may mga Harley sila kay Kingo, nagagawa nilang i-punish yung mga greedy lineups sa kanilang kalaban at mas nananalo sila doon sa mapa. And lastly, dito para sa Aurora, kailangan nilang kontrahin yung King Kong's Gambit. It's not the King's Gambit anymore, it's not the Orange Gambit anymore, it's King Kong's Gambit. Yung early game ang kailangan bantayan ng Aurora. Their jungle has to be secure. If not, nako po, Onyx Philippines can take over.
I mean, dude, these are some very important games that we have to talk about. Maraming salamat para sa iyong real cooling tactics brought to us by Infinix Wolf. Maya-maya lamang, kasi in just a bit, we're actually going to be looking at one of our super fans na nandito kasama natin. VIP access together with everybody else. Hello guys, good afternoon. And of course, one of our super fans actually volunteered to be here with us today. So pakilala ka naman para sa ating MPL super fans.
My name is Patrick Rebato.
Right, Patrick, you've talked and kita naman sa uniform mo na supporter ka talaga ng Onyx Philippines and they're walking right behind you sa panahong ito. Malaki ang tiwala mo para sa kupunang ito. Ano bang pinagkaiba ng Onyx PH this season compared to the last?
Ang pinagkaiba ng last season is mas maganda yung chemistry nila ngayon kaysa dati. Siguro, nung regular season lang is nahihirapan sila dahil sa import nila kay Severo. Pero habang tumatagal, nakakasabay na sa laro.
And, hey, you know, I completely understand what you said, Patrick. Kasi nung una, medyo maraming doubters si Severo, di ba? But later on, he's starting to make doubters into believers and I hope you continue to enjoy. Makakaupo ka na, Patrick. And of course, to our VIP super fans na nandito mismo sa San Juan Arena. Tickets, I think, are still available. So if you guys would want to go for that, you can take it at the official website of MPL Philippines. Pero na-mention mo kanina, Wolf, something that is quite similar para manalo itong dalawang teams na to ay yung draft pattern. What are some of the things na pwede nating pagtuunan ng pansin before the start of the draft?
Lane-to-lane matchup, yung gold laner na hindi pwedeng malugi. Pero parang nung dumaan yung mga coaches dito kanina, parang may na-feel ako kay iba. Parang gusto ko itapon yung mga sinabi ko mga kiss nila kanina. Kasi parang iba eh. But what we do know is magkakaroon ng magandang draft battle dito when it starts. And I'm excited to see kung ano yung baon ng dalawang teams na to.
Wolf, you've talked about baon. And in fact, it's 2 weeks na halos hindi
It's
nakita itong dalawang teams na ito. In fact, all 6 of them. First things first, Aurora versus Onyx. How
Aurora
essential
versus
are
Onyx.
those 2 weeks? Magiging malaki ba talaga yung changes na makikita natin in your perspective as a coach?
These two teams ay mga klase ng teams na hindi tatamad-tamad. Alam mo yan, Hans, parang willing sila na maglaro ng only games all throughout those 2 weeks. And I'm
Kita belajar Tagalog dulu guys. Tagalog guys.
Sobrang naghanda for this one. Tingin ko baka makita tayo ng mga kakaibang mga picks na mga
Picks sama
in this
strategies.
particular matchup. Lalo na best of 5 na yun.
Yup, and nabanggit din ng ating mga casters kani-kanina lamang that this is the M6 World Champions facing off against the M7 World Champions. Kaya siguro sa ngayon, isa na lang ang natitirang tanong na nasa aking isipan. San Juan Arena, handa na ba para sa unang laban ng araw na to? I think we're gonna have to split it out. Nasaan ang Super Fam Sonics? I love the spirit. Nasa naman ang mga liwanag ng Aurora? It's Aurora Gaming Philippines against Sonic Philippines. It's been Wolf and Hans. Teams, time to shine.
Anjir pakainya ini trap cok. Trap apa ini sih? Afro.
And they found the lights within. The regular season is in the past. Another conquest begins.
Anjay Afro guys. Aurora Gaming PH.
Anchoring the Northern Lights, the 2-time M World Champion, 3-time MPLPH Champion, making his 12th playoff appearance, Roras. Make some noise for Edward and Aurora Gaming Philippines.
We move as one, unbroken in the fight. Raise the flag at the sky, remember.
To ensure the integrity of the game, please welcome our marshals, Miko, Chico, Joshua G, and Luis.
The chick.
Our head referee is the Jump Master, Sen. Our head coaches on the stage, Coach Hayes and Coach Master the Basics. Only one will earn the right to face the Falcons. This is the ultimate international rivalry. San Juan Arena, Balag Nato!
History was made here in San Juan Arena years ago. Both these teams have made history themselves, but only one can move forward. Let's start with Onyx Philippines.
To answer the question, if whether or not bringing Savero in was an experiment, I'd say no. They had so much time and they really prepared for the pressure for Clayton to come in and to take care of business. I can't believe how much easier his season was compared to Dominkite and Aurora.
Yeah, on one side, you're going up against a player who called himself the Pressure. On the other side, they have the weight of the world, the crown on their shoulders. The reigning world champs of MLBB could be eliminated today in the very first day of the MPLPH Season 17 playoffs, which is why I'm looking forward to seeing how did Coach MTV, how did Coach Techstar, and the entire team get their ish together to get back to that top-class world champion form.
You know what? I don't even think it's about the stats.
Yeah.
Many a time in the interviews, Coach Techstar, Coach Master the Basics, they mentioned that we prepare, we play the same way, but might be actually a mindset thing. They gotta be hungrier. They gotta make it like barracudas.
Yeah, that's why I was saying, man, you know, bring out the teeth if you need to. Just like that. Let's listen in on a smart 5G ping test on how they're preparing. Are they bringing out the teeth or not?
Why you get my red? Uy, ulots! Ulots! Guys, magaling ako, promise. Okay na. GG na. Ikaw na, Jet.
Why is bro barking laser? Ow! Ow! Ano daw ang naging preparation natin ngayon dito sa paparating na playoffs? Masasabi kong nasa full condition kami. Kailangan na lang galingan. Kailangan na lang lupitan. Mas intense, tapos more crowd, more excitement, more hype, tapos mas malamig. Anong palag namin? Galingan nyo kasi gagalingan namin. Ano ba palag natin, boy? Kirk, wala daw. Malakas daw si Prince. Prince, ano daw palag mo kayo eh? Alam mo na yan? Alam ko na yan. So secret na lang, guys. Sensya na. Yung yung nagpa-raid kanina, yung mga karoras natin dyan, thank you sa full support, guys. Mula week 1 hanggang ngayon. Thank you so much guys sa effort. Sa venue, ano masabi ko sa venue? Sobrang laki. Ang daming pwedeng makanood. So, enjoy dito guys sa Phil Oil San Juan. Dami tao pre. Puno. Home of the champions. Champions are...
And there we go. That's our smart 5G ping test. Once again, the international rivalry here. Some shared words between the two. That's a new player, by the way, the opening scene. New player, Janine.
Who's she playing for?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Playing for all of us, I'm a huge fan.
She actually did. She played for all of us.
That was a terrific opening, but of course, Janine, I would like to call her
Janine Bareng.
but it is Janine Birdie, of course, I like to call the anthem. I have to side here with Wolf Japan, thinking that this is really going to be a draft battle. Mainly because for Aurora, the thing that we've been talking about for the longest time is that they know what's coming.
Yeah.
They, as you mentioned earlier, they love to play the same way. They also love to draft the same way. There needs to be evolution. It can't just be play their game. It needs to be play their game, but with what new way to deal with it and what new way to execute. Because teams have had them read all season long.
Yep, they have. Let's take a read here on Onyx Philippines' playoff appearance. 100%. This is their 14th. We've never gone to playoffs without the organization Onyx competing within it, and these are, you know, Severo's obviously first time in the MPL Philippines. What a route he's had to this point. I think he's been a big cornerstone of why they ended up here too, because things seemed a little shaky in the early weeks of the season, but then, you know, again, having a big question mark on how is Severo going to perform, the shoes that he wants to fill or make his own, if you will, and he's done it. They can continue on here against Aurora Gaming Philippines.
Both teams actually have a very impressive playoffs appearance record. And that's just as franchises, but on an individual level, you see some of them miss out. Light in his time with RSG and TNC, and for Dominkite, his time with Minana Evos.
Yeah.
Demonkite and Edward, of course. Well, Demonkite, perfect on the attendance. You as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Edward, of course.
That one time with Blacklist.
Yeah, there's been 17 seasons of MPLPH. He's played for 13. He's shown up in 12. So we're going to head into the draft. Broken walls for the very first one. And this is a great tempo setter. This means Onyx are looking to play their gambits. They're looking to play their plays of taking away green camps from Demonkite.
And for those who don't remember what we mean by King Kong's Gambit, it's basically them attacking the orange. It's an early vertical jungling pattern. It's replaced the Sigma pattern.
Replace the Sigma pattern. Remind me too, because we've spent the whole regular season going in best of threes. For our viewers out there too, now that we're in a best of 5 territory, as we are about to jump in the draft here in just a couple seconds, we have to think about also the different maps that can come through here. By the way, broken walls for the first one. Boom! We've got some new effects. That looks pretty cool. Broken walls. Can't wait to see all of them. But yeah, so how does it work in a best of 5 again? We got the side
choice,
random.
What's left, and then I think it resets at the 5th.
Yeah.
Okay.
The 5th is an open random pool. Yeah.
All right.
So choice, and then yeah, exactly what Leo said.
Okay. All right. Well, jumping to this one, Ben's coming through already. We got Onyx on this blue. They're going to take out the Phobius, the Hilda. Over on the Aurora side, they'll take out Fanny. Freya.
Yeah.
Priorities. Are they actually going to ban out the Kalea?
Wow.
We're still thinking what, Harley, blue side priority? Dushin, Harley.
I think more so Onyx would want to consider taking away the Juicing, because if Onyx want to funnel Aurora into a little bit more of a predictable graph, then that means they're thinking about Juicing, they're hoping that Kimmy falls on the hands of Aurora. They're also okay with Yue getting the Valentina, not the most stellar record for him on that hero this season. But with the ban of the Phobius, Onyx might actually do something surprising. If it's not going to be a Harley rush, it could also be a Valentina rush out of nowhere. Considering that Aurora love to pick up heroes in the EXP and Rome that have a lot of big ticket ultimates. So if it's not going to be the typical Harley, it could be a surprise Valentina first. Or they could just go for the Juice and Cryo on the Super Friends. He is 4-1 on that this season. They go for the Marcel, which is open, which is interesting. Not a lot of teams would want to pick up the Marcel with the Valentina open, but times have been somewhat shifting, and we've been seeing it as well in global MLBB. Rora might go ahead and pick up the Valentina here, but this almost 100% secures a Harith pickup for Onyx, and they're expecting that it's going to be Claude plus a jungler or Claude plus Valentina here at red 1 and 2.
The Marcel coming through is interesting, but it's going to be Guinevere Val. This is not what we were expecting. Was the time away, the week and a half or almost 2 weeks, changing things this much for how you can read the draft Aurora. This is what we talked about. A lot of teams have been watching them. Well, maybe this is the shakeup they needed in game 1.
This was not in whatever draft prediction algorithm anyone has ever programmed. Given that Guinevere is more of a dangerous grass kind of map, or flying clouds kind of map hero, this showing up here, this shows that Aurora are proactive. This is definitely something that they conjured up in the past week and a half.
Early on in the season, I think Onyx picked up a Harley up against his Guinevere and then just out-rotated it. It's going to be dependent on what they also pick up in the EXP lane. They do pick up the Harley, and of course, the pick that came out late in the season, very good for the Super Friends. They get the Gord. Folks, 100%, it's undeniable. Gord is meta. 5-1 for Onyx in the season so far.
Okay, I like it. I'm glad. Yeah, you know, I've been pretty vocal that I'm just glad that he's been really like meta now. But it's also just paired up really well with the Harley, right? So you've got the Harley, got the Gord. That's probably the most winningest combo they have.
Do you bum rush the Sora? Because that's what ruined the Gord lineup.
Yeah, you might want to take it now. Before it gets banned out.
It's good. It can be proactive. Oh, but they go ahead and pick up the Khalid. They want a wider pool for the EXP. They can still set up an R-Lot for the Guinevere later.
Okay.
They have choices.
So they got a Khalid. First phase is done. We've got to pick some brains over there of Hans and Wolf. What do you guys think about this?
Maraming salamat sa ating mga casters. As of the moment, we're looking at something quite different, Wolf. Kasi yung Suyu, or maybe even the Harley is there, pero hindi siya picked up as much. May nagbago ba over these 2 weeks?
I don't think so. Parang nakafeel ko lang dito para sa Aurora. Mas na-feel nila yung strike nila with semi-fighter na junglers. Parang hindi na full assassins para kay DK. Going in for the Guinevere. Whereas ito namang Onyx, sticking to their style. Yung Gord, pati yung Harley na sobrang comfort hero sila yung kinuha nila dito.
Now we're looking at Aurora being the next to pick first in the second phase. They're still missing an Edward and a Doming-Kite hero. What are some of the possibilities that you're looking forward to here?
Tingin ko yung mga mapupunta dito kay Doming, yung mga malakas mag-control ng river like yung Claude, the Moskov, at yun yung first pick nila, ilang last pick nilang hero. Coming out from Edward, maybe even a Benedetta, eventually makita natin, or a Lapu-Lapu. Sa Onyx naman, nararamdaman ko dito yung classic setup heroes ni Brusco, yung mga Cho. I think we will see that, and then the Clint naman para kay Savero.
It's classic for Onyx, a little bit different for Aurora. That's it for us here at On Ground. What's up with the casters there?
All right, thank you, Hans and Wolf. Some insights there. They mentioned the Cho of Brusco?
I was thinking that maybe Wolf was thinking about Kirk surprising with a EXP Cho.
Like a swerve.
Yeah, like a swerve, yeah. That applies a lot of pressure. Again, that's why Aurora were thinking about picking up the Khalid. Because if Onyx end up with a pick that rotate out of the EXP lane fast, Khalid and even a Hilda is one of the few heroes that can actually deal with it. As expected, Onyx will take away one of the best options that Aurora could pair with right now in the R-Lots. We still have Clues on the board. Uranus is a fantastic ban as well. Low on the draft predict, but then again, you get a hero that can mess up a lot of the macros and the presence if Uranus was given to Onyx, so you take it out. Number one in the draft predict Onyx ban is actually a Sora, and I think we are on that boat. You gotta take out the Sora of your Onyx.
Because again, Aurora didn't rush it in red 3. They're giving you the option to ban it out. That, or how is the Zhong not showing up? Because that also would ruin Onyx lineup, that combo wombo.
Yeah, combo wombo, petrify.
Maybe that's something on the mind of Onyx. That's why they're taking their sweet time with this ban. Oh, they are expecting a surprise Paquito pickup here.
Newly buffed.
For Aurora, is that a smile of, hey, you just took away our surprise, or a smile of you guys are overthinking?
I can tell it's been a long week for Aurora. You see Edward with a little bit of stubble.
Yeah.
They've been in the trenches, man, practicing for the playoffs here.
I would too. If I was in their place, if I had that rough of a 2 months, I would too.
This is probably one of the best things they can do too. Get that gold lane locked in for Dominkite. They get him the Claude.
Naria Harris, it's a Claude.
Yeah. I think Aurora know that Onyx would be too greedy if they go ahead and pick up something like a Harith right now. That's too much magic. They'd want to go physical if they're in the gold lane. Either go back to the YSS of Savero
or the Moskov.
Or the Moskov.
Yeah.
You can even go surprise with the Clint. Despite all of that dive, you have space creators for you. You can pair that Gord and the Clint together. You don't really need to match mobility per mobility, but you definitely can. In terms of the EXP for Kirk, again, something that can get out of lane quick. You can't pick up the Sora right now. I think you already see the Valentina. There's a chance to swerve. Lapu, Alice are going to be really good. Oh, they go for the Bruno. Okay. They get the glue, so Bruno counters Claude in lane.
Ole.
While glue is just the tempo breaker that Onyx PH needed a little bit more of in their team fight.
Glue's enough to like be a distraction too in that front line. Go ahead and soak up if they need to. But also the Bruno tends to be what we've talked about a lot, being that counter pick into the Claude. We saw that work wonders in the regular season for the teams that decided to go for it. So they have a ton of damage for Onyx, and oh, there's the answer, Edward. He's gonna pull out the Benedetta.
Woo! Prior, it was vintage Vinuya. But now we're going old school Mr. Consistent.
Yes, sir, we are. Superfans, scan the QR code and predict the match winner correctly for a chance to win 1,000 MLBB Diamonds. This one is a heated way to start this best of 5.
If you want to go a little bit more PH theme with that, you have vintage Vinuya. This is Dating Dapada. Old Dapada, bro.
Dating Dapada.
Yes, sir.
Hey, that works. Let's take a look here one more time at the lineups. Again, we got our draft index here, but this is, what a way to start this.
You know what, just to throw out to our global community, I spent the past weekend casting MSL Thailand.
Yep.
Aurora's draft looks very much like a KOG draft.
A KOG draft.
MSL newly crowned champions.
Yes, sir. Hey, we've seen similar things even in MCT East Asia, man. So I've liked that we get to see all this on the global level, but now let's focus in on this as we jump into the Land of Dawn and our battle, the international rivalry, the last one we'll see of Season 17.
Day 1 already feels like a grand finals. Of course, Super Friends would want to pull yourself together as the Gord needs faster access to that flicker. Aggressive trades in the mid as expected. The Khalid and Valentina together. Mid prio going to determine a lot of the early wins. River control, very important for these two. Now with Glue going to Onyx, they have a slightly slower lineup. That's what Aurora's invading.
Oh, forcing a flicker out of Brusco. And Onyx Philippines are on the receiving end of an orange gambit themselves.
That projectile saved a life right there. That little stun kept them alive, but good thing. But they're showing aggression here in the early game already.
Who is this team? What a jump by Light and Demon Kite. They draw first blood.
He just paid for it.
A lot of growth by Aurora here. They know their Benedetta is faster than this Glue. Again, that's why they invaded orange. If they continue to invade.
Brusco running through 3. stopping the invasion, but Demon Kite wants it. He's hungry. Do you want it? Do you want it? And he gets it.
Oh.
And they jump him. King Kong punishes the celebrity, and Light eats up one. Oh, fair enough. King Kong actually secured without a retribution.
Yeah, he secured his own purple buff. He went in there with the space escape. Demon Kite falls. So Onyx get to defend the aggression of Rora early. They lost their orange, but in the long run, Onyx actually won that long sequence.
Yeah, it's Aurora doing things differently.
It's not how you start, it's how you end.
Yes.
And that early sequence, as Remar said, goes to the Super Fam. First turtle, though. Who's going to take it?
First turtle being up here. Both teams have some crucial level 4s. That was Yu had taken the Mystic Gush, so he's got that for this fight. They're going to go ahead and start this turtle up, but Brusco will hold it here.
Onyx can't rush it right now. Brusco doesn't have Golden Hour. Light not yet level 4 just yet. Kirk does have his mount if he wants it.
Get half health on the turtle. They're going to go for this.
Holding it. They take Light down. Getting the mount and everything thrown at him. King Kong looking for that angle, but DK will secure. Turtle 1 goes to the Northern Lights.
Worthy sacrifice by Light. I'm sure he just wanted to get vision, but with him going down and Onyx committing a lot of their abilities. Wait!
Dominic Kite up top! He's feeling himself, forcing Savero back.
Multiple times in the season, Savero has had Dominic Kite's number in the gold lane with their little duos, but with the very first big trade, it's Dominic Kite who goes out on top.
But for longtime fans of Dominic Del Mundo, aka Dominic Kite, they know that the strength of this jungler is, this gold laner is in the laning phase.
Yeah.
So if there's any time Dominic Kite will win against Savero, it's in the first 5 minutes.
It's going to be a great series just already with these first 3 minutes of game 1. They have some time to go ahead and settle in, and now with a heck of a start for Aurora being on the more aggressive side, that could be enough to go ahead and start to set things in their favor. But one thing they do have to go ahead and take note of is, again, King Kong, despite all the pressure, it's pretty much fine. And that's going to be the case with a Harley like this. So, and I'm wondering, where do they find these little openings? Where do they find these little windows of opportunity for them? Also, because you have Brusco on the Marcel, so when you think you want to start with tempo, Marcel can be enough to kind of stop that from happening.
Yeah, so Aurora have information that Savero is close to a minute away from getting his flicker back. He's at 50 and counting, less than. And so that's why Aurora would commit a rotation from Light to go Gold Crab so that Dominic Kite would be able to take it. Because they know that Savero cannot play risky and try to take it away. There's a cut by Demon Kite behind Savero.
Does Savero know the pressure? Ill intent from the Northern Lights. 4 now. Dominic Kite with a blazing duet. And here comes the save. Golden Hour. Stolen. Gosh, where'd it go? And it seems like they flubbed it. The jump, the flicker, the dive. Savero lives.
Oh my God, Light! He's going to be the one to get punished. What a counterplay from Onyx.
They went too deep. They went too deep.
Brusco with the save. Aurora trying to take a page from Onyx's book with all this aggression, but it takes just a nice little platinum snap to snap Aurora out of their comfort.
Oh man, that's exactly what I was saying. You want to set the tempo. Well, there's a Marcel across from you, and you saw how much value a perfectly timed golden hour can give to your team. And look at this, though. There is going to be a bit of a trade. Edward will grab some extra gold off that bottom side.
They want to do it again. Dominic Kite, BMI through. Brusco again to the rescue, forcing a defensive Rampaging Sandstorm. Oh my lord, the long con by Onyx. When everyone thought they were experimenting with an import, here they were using him as bait. Oh! Gosh, on the Light, he might throw once more. Bulls in his face, Savero can't finish the job.
Aurora will be able to get away, but Onyx, this is why they like the glue. It loses in the big overall rotations compared to the Benedetta, but when it comes to the fighting, it's kind of awkward for the Gwyn, kind of awkward for the Claude, even for the Benedetta, because of all that tempo breaking. And that's just the Marcel we've seen most of it. We haven't seen Kirk for a lot of these big sequences. When it gets to that, Aurora might have some difficulty.
Yeah, they're already having a little bit of difficulty in trying to deal with focusing on Savero, because Brusco's just been so well protecting him and staying on that side of the map if he has to, and that's one of the benefits of being able to travel fast as well.
Again, that's just the Marcel.
Another one! Demon Kite barely gets away by the skin of his teeth.
Okay, he stays alive. Surprised at how many beams we're seeing not convert into kills, but they are knocking down turrets. That's what they're going for.
Hey, technical knockouts are still knockouts.
Yeah, that's
it
true.
leads to Demonkai not being present. And the only real place that Rora can breathe is where Edward is.
Yeah. He has to open up the map here. That allows a few more avenues for Aurora. But until Aurora gets the tower in mid, all the side lane pushes might not be that beneficial to them. Onyx handle the long lanes and far lanes very well. They have had fantastic macro this season, and they're willing to give it up if they know they get a big objective. If they know they get Turtle 3, if they know they get Lord 1.
Yeah, this Turtle's going to be up. Last one of the game here, pulled through. Edward's going to join this one. It looks like after he clears mid. He's got a bladed Hepsies too, so depending on where he puts his Petrify, like the final blow, he's going to be pumping out damage.
And there they come, Golden Hour stopping the action, and a stolen one by Yue. The fight is broken out all the way back, and Bruce Defoe, Requiem by Demonkai finding Kurt, and this has split up the Super Fam. And just like that, Rora gather back, and King Kong running away. Yue, down goes King Kong. They go for the turtle. Rora scores the final one.
Terrific counter by Aurora. Onyx tried to salvage that by sending Severo and Super Prince in the mid, but since Edward was there, they couldn't cover. I was a little bit wary of that fight for Onyx heading into that, because Kirk was in the mid trying to clear lane. It seems like they weren't talking with each other. If Brusco and Kirk were a little bit more connected and you had the glue messing up the backline of Aurora, it wouldn't have gone that way. Since the glue was slightly out of position and out of time, Onyx just got run over by Aurora. Great golden hour as well by Yue.
Benefit of the doubt. I myself am an advocate of Kirk. Maybe he was playing man-to-man defense with Edward. Maybe that was the wrong call. Maybe you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, because Edward's going to be hard to man-to-man defense against, you know, just because of how much he can maneuver around the fight.
Best case scenario, what do you get? You mount the Benedetta?
Yeah.
And then what?
The Benedetta takes you for a ride away from your team.
Yeah, Rora gets to do whatever they want anyways.
Yeah.
I know Onyx were thinking about the chance of Aurora getting a big team fight win and then getting their tower pushed in mid. But at that point, with Super Prince and Severo able to get away from that, they were all right.
Oh, look at the damage being burnt down onto Severo. Onyx, just like that, suddenly struggled to play proactively against Aurora. They're up 2,000 gold. Dominica getting this push up top, and the map suddenly turns red.
Oh, he got an easy push on that tier 2 top turret. Dominica bringing that down, and you know, you're thinking here for Onyx.
Oh, Requiem, beautiful catch. This is defensive use of the Golden Hour. The answer as well, stopping them from pushing forward. Light, barely alive, gets taken down by a rolled projection coming from Prince.
The Worldie came out in time as well. Super Prince's first initial Mystic Gush was actually diminished by Yue, but the Golden Hour by Brusco to follow up after Yue's Golden Hour is what put Aurora in a better spot for Onyx to at least get a kill onto Light. River control and mid control still for Onyx heading into Lord 1. Edward will push the side lanes while Onyx will have to manage that one up top. In terms of the gold, big lead for Dominica compared to Severo. But Severo isn't that poor in terms of the resources. He's getting his items on the way to a Malefic Gun.
Yeah, he's got that. Not only that, but he's also got a situation where, you know, he's got his 2 items. They're going to have to fight for this Lord here. It's at half health on this point. It looks like they're blitzing it.
Yeah, because Brusco has no Golden Hour. Super Fam, respond. Aurora jumping in. Dominica with a blazing duet. And the Golden Hour stopping it all. And they do find the Lord. Demonkai was working hard on it. Mr. Consistent finds one. Down goes the pressure. And they get Kirk. Kirk very low. Kirk surviving, but just barely. As Aurora take everything.
Requiem knockup just in time by Aurora. And Onyx, since they picked up the Marcel and gave away the Valentina, the snapshots, the Golden Hours have been better for Aurora.
Yep, they've been really great. Yue as well, deciding on what ultimates to take here. He's been so good and efficient on the ultimate choice, but even just utilizing the Terrify that comes with this, or the Valentina, man. I mean, there's so many ways for Aurora to go ahead and play around these team fights, and that's what's happening here. So this Lord is up. They're going to go ahead and try to push into the base, get some of these shields down, and then potentially the health of the turrets. Tier 2 in the mid will fall up to this point. Lord being worked on very quickly by Severo. He clears that out, but the mid shield will fall.
Bottom lane, Edward has Severo taking so much damage. Blasting him, Yue from range. Super Prince defensive use of the Gush, pushing back the Northern Lights. Aurora are just all over them. Bottom lane, taken down. All work from Edward.
This is why we were posing the possibility of a surprise Valentina pick first for Onyx. But they were willing to give the golden hour to Aurora, and they've made the most out of it. Even better because they have the utility jungler.
And now Brusco forcing out a Requiem from Demon Kite. Will not stop the rest of the waves though. Golden hour will at least keep that inhibitor alive. Onyx are just keeping their heads barely above water.
Yep, flicker used as well by Dominkite, but so far Aurora in the driver's seat throughout this one for the past few minutes. You got to start to see what Onyx can do here. Can they actually utilize this Bruno pick? You saw how fast he got blasted though, and that's a problem because when you don't have that range and it's that hard to get into a fight, again, you don't have that many escapes to get away. That's why he does get the Malefic gun. He's got a little bit more range to work with. But man, the positioning on Severo, if we talked about his mechanics, his micro skills throughout the season, this game one is a true test for them.
Yeah, Dominkite, of course, in that last few big team fights ago, beautiful entry with a blazing duet. Has had a better time farming compared to Severo. So far, the gold per minute for Severo is just floating around 580. Dominkite is at 710 plus. It's been a much better time for this Claude in terms of getting the resources. And it wasn't just because Aurora were also getting big wins as a team. Gotta acknowledge, Dominkite beat Severo in lane for this game number 1.
Yeah, even looking at this, White providing so much information throughout this game. That's, again, why the Khalid is such a big top priority pick in the roam right now. Not only that, but even if you take a couple shots, you can just heal back up. And so they kind of just take some time, wait for this Lord coming up in a couple seconds here, taking a last look at the items. Onyx, if they want to, they can try to contest into this, but will they just get decimated through a team fight?
Likely yes. It hurts that they don't have an actual peel. Their lineup doesn't revel in, free hits from Prince, free hits from Severo. They have to get crafty with it. And Aurora, look at Edward. He's built 3 swords plus the wings.
And this is why the Benedetta pick was really good. If this was a different EXP laner,
be different.
Kirk would be much happier here. But the Benedetta changes the big picture of team fights for Onyx. Again, they have a utility jungler, they have a Khalid, they have their own golden hour.
Oh, they see that King Kong's down on the bottom side. They're going to blitz this Lord. Onyx might have just decided, you know what, let's just give it up. So that Lord secured here for Aurora. They're better off defending in their base, it looks like. And that could just be the case here for Onyx. If they really want to get this game under control, get it back in their favor, they've got to have a miracle defense. And that can happen, honestly, with a Marcel on your side, too. That can actually happen. Marcel, Gord can clear these waves pretty well. So this might not be a game-winning Lord push just yet for Aurora, despite being up this much.
Playing the map, the pressure. I think Aurora, they can get the base balled here for Onyx, take away all the base turrets, throw bodies. Dominkite has to survive, though. Edward as well. Maybe Edward could be one of your sacrifices, but Dominkite needs to survive this push.
Yep, Lord's going to push in and take down that mid turret while they focus here on this bottom side. Oh, Edward. Oh, light.
Looking for it. The deep cut by Mr. Consistent. Golden hour. Stopping the exit, but really not much there. Another one helping delay the gush. Going through a lot of members of Aurora, but Kirk is fallen. Light picks him off. King Kong goes for the trade. And I think Aurora are happy with a 2-lane push, but it looks like top lane and bottom lane will get taken care of too, just mid-falls.
Yeah, as I was saying, part of the key to this defense is that Gord and the Marcel. We'll see if they still hold on to the turrets. It looks like Aurora
pulls the trigger, but I think they know that this is a little too fishy.
Yeah. That was actually a smart play by Dominkite. I think his condition there was the moment he saw that Deadly Magic was used on the Valentina. That's why he decided to BMI in, because he knows he can afford to be a little bit aggressive and survive, because nothing's going to delete him instantly. He has his own way to lifesteal and spell vamp as well through the Claudes, the basic attacks, the blazing duets. So that was just a smart little decision and gave Aurora the space to actually get away from that.
Yep, and looking at these... The itemization here, too, I think Kirk, big factor. Wait, Conceal is used. Light's just pushing Brusco out, but I want to control this side of the map. Again, defensively, just needs a little bit more to be beefier. But even then, if Kirk has the items and he's like beefy enough to withstand a lot of that front-loaded damage, the problem is still keeping tabs on Edward, keeping tabs on what UA decides to do, and even Dominkite. So Onyx has so many boxes that they need to check to win, ultimately, a team fight that turns it around in their favor.
You know that the Northern Lights are feeling it because they're starting to hunt
Yeah.
They're looking for these brushes and flushing out rogue members of the Super Fam, which makes sense because look, they're protecting Savero like it's the first 2 minutes again.
Yeah, they have to, man. He is the key here for them to eventually... Again, it's pretty easy for Onyx to pick off 1 or 2 members, but to entirely win a team fight, that's where the work is going to come through, and where you really need Savero to stay alive for those.
Yeah, and it's going to be easier said than done, difficult, because of the Benedetta that is packing hella damage items. I believe the first time we saw Benedetta this season was against Aurora versus Onyx in week 2.
Yeah, week 2?
Yeah. Edward did use a Benedetta then. It did not win, but it's a completely different picture. Oh, it's a blitz by Aurora.
Oh, Onyx are trying to respond. Brusco here, golden hour.
Early.
Delaying the Lord take, stuck at about 1/10 of its health. In comes Demon Kite, looking for more. Demon Kite forced to use the freeze on that Wintercraft, plus the Blazing Duet defensively. Lord will still be secured. They take out King Kong, and now the jump, the Requiem, the Clash, and Kirk falls, and they're not done. They're looking for more. Savero kicking bows, trying to stop him. Another knockup, down goes Brusco. And Savero holding on. Maybe I can, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. It's just him and Savero left for defense.
Early on the golden hour from Brusco. I think a little bit of a panic button. And then Aurora just decided to go for the jump. They saw King Kong first, found his hat. Brusco got taken down, or Kirk got taken down next, and then Brusco. Aurora looked to take game number 1.
Yep, they're going to be pushing in with this Lord. A little projectile thrown up, but it's only 2 guys of Onyx left.
And in comes the Electo final blow. That's it. They escort the Lord out of the base. Aurora draw first blood in San Juan Arena.
Early on, that's one doubt answered. They still have a long series to go, but Aurora looks so much better than they looked in the regular season. That was just game 1.
A very different Aurora that we're seeing here. That week and a half, that 2 weeks, whatever it was, ended up paying off, at least here in the first draft, first game. And it leaves to wonder again, you know, in this case, down from the drafting, down from the execution, as we look at the highlights throughout this game, they started fast and they ended fast. I mean, it was a pressure game themselves that they put on against the Super Fam.
I think in the long run, the glue ended up becoming a pick that hurt them more than it actually helped them. And of course, very easy as well to get AOT stacks for the Claude through the glue. After that, even if you get a mount, with how mobile the lineup of Aurora is, what are you trying to break? What tempo are you trying to break? There is no tempo to break. And you can't break Dominkite, who is the MVP of game number 1. He won that because of how he handled Savero in lane. He delayed the Bruno. And of course, his entry with a Blazing Duet during Lord 1 was beautiful.
I kind of get now why people doubt his clutch gene. It's because he doesn't have to carry single-handedly.
Yeah.
He played very well from early, mid to late. And again, when it matters, Dominkite is there. He was proactive. He was just everywhere.
Yeah, he played this to a T. And you gotta mind you too that just down in the lane, they put a lot of pressure on Savero to also allow Dominkite, I feel like, to have a little bit better time to farm up. Not that he usually doesn't, it's just one of those things where if Savero's being pressured and they have a composition that should be getting off pickoffs because you have a Harley, you have a Gord to work in conjunction with a Marcel, they kind of had to shift their focus to keeping Savero alive. We saw that down to the very end where they were really trying to protect Savero. Well, Dominkite, and the reason why this Claude is such a priority, especially for teams like Aurora, is you already can be confident enough that Dominkite's going to do his thing, right? This is his hero that he's able to go ahead and just kind of take autopilot and be very useful and efficient on a hero like Claude.
I think Onyx need to put a lot more weight on this Valentina pick. Again, very rare that we see teams willingly get the Marcel and still have a Valentina on the other side. I think in the long run, Aurora built around having their own golden hour much better than Onyx built around their own golden hour. There were some times where Brusco's golden hour actually hurt the Mystic Gush of Super Friends, and a lot of times denied by US own golden hour. Now, for the trades, I think Onyx put a little bit too much value on the ban on the Kalea because they can pick up Kalea themselves. They are one of the teams that have picked up Kalea as one of their first picks, and they've shined with it in this season. That's one of their highest win rate heroes.
Yeah.
So the fact that they picked the Marcel,
when they could have maybe found out Valentina at the blue 3, then pick up the Kalea for themselves, so there's no Tsunami Slam for Aurora. You're okay with picking up Kalea over the Marcel because we've seen she's one of the best responses to a lineup with the Marcel.
Yeah, there was, that's why I was saying, you know, the Marcel was, there was a lot of good moments from Brusco, honestly. Like, that incredible save that he made up top, you know, they really utilized this Marcel the best they could, but I think there was just a great way for Aurora to execute things. And my low-key MVP for this would have been Yue, because on the Valentina, like, there were so many good moments where he was actually able to go ahead and, you know, utilize his own golden hour, utilize his own Misty Gush, utilize his own tools. But then again, like I said, the damage that comes with Valentina plus the Terrify mechanic within her kit is just so good. And that's what we saw from Yue. That pressure alone is what left a lot of the time Severo thinking like, I can't push forward too much on this Bruno. I'm checked in my zone because of this Valentina.
Which compromised the Onyx whole game plan. It's clear, even if they don't say it, they play for Severo.
They do. We're gonna give our players a little bit of rest here. We're gonna be going on a quick break. We'll be back after this.
GG bro! Don't worry, the Only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi bitin with 10 gig data to power your games plus Only Facebook or Only TikTok. Load now!
Foul! You know your scalp can get up to 5 times more dandruff? Get triple anti-dandruff power. Supercharged with Clear. Hey, you, did you know men have 1.4 times weaker scalp? Get a shampoo that's 100% made for men. Supercharged with Clear. Enemy alert. Your scalp gets 1.5 times greasier, causing dandruff. Get triple anti-dandruff power. Supercharged with Clear. Stop and pull over. Your scalp gets 1.5 times sweatier. For cooling power, supercharged with Clear.
Paano ko kaya sila masusuportahan ngayon ng mas maayos? Kailangan ko magpalit ng strategies?
Nagagampanan ko kaya ng maayos ang role ko? Will I be able to meet their expectations? We have to prove them all wrong.
It's time to win.
Ya Aurora itu kuat banget sih guys. Juara M7 anjay.
Sinimulan natin ang first day ng playoffs with an intense performance by none other than
Emang gak lucu banget, Cok. Bangke ya.
Meron ba dito mga fans si Janine? Can we hear that? I think she's overwhelmed right now. Janine, am I right? How are you feeling?
Opo, sobrang excited ko. Thank you, super fans kanina, and have fun po. Woohoo!
And we would like to thank you for that great performance, by the way. Anong feeling na you did the opening for the first day of the playoffs and at the same time, sobra yung pagiging energized ng fans natin.
Well, alam ko sobrang excited kasi talaga ng super fans natin for the matches today.
Yes,
Everyone's
naman,
excited.
yes.
So ramdam ko yung hype kanina. Tapos adun pa sila, actually first time ko makita si Carl TZ at Sanford noon. So parang sabi ko, kasi sabi nila choreo daw, iganon ko daw sila. Ala, ginanon ko lang sila. Sabi ko, but anyway, it was so cool. Thank you so much, MPL. Thank you po.
And you know, Janine, this is like one of the times na nagsama ang esports at OPM. Gaano kahalaga yon para sa'yo?
Ako sobrang grateful ako na part ako sa unang parang collab talaga ng MPL for esports and music. Kasi feeling ko important talaga yung pampahype kasi talaga
Jenny
yung music.
Berdin.
And all my favorite games, dun din galing yung mga favorite songs ko. So, grabe, dream come true. Dream come true.
It's always
Dream
a
come
great
true.
time seeing, you know, different fields, music, and esports colliding. And she's also a fan, diba? We've talked about this. Fan of Carl TZ and also a player of ML. And also, may pinapakita dito si Janine, a collaboration. If you guys can see, she has an exclusive photo card for MPL Season 17. You guys can see that? Okay, Janine, why don't you invite your fans, you know, they can get these photo cards later on.
Yes po, sa lahat ng hindi pa nagsistream ng palag na to, meron din tayong photo cards. Stream nyo na! Woohoo! MPL!
Palag na to. Streaming right now, if I'm not mistaken, that's 400 million.
Yeah, and it's a perfect song to stream while you're playing kasi talagang andun ka sa mood na makipag-clash sa ML while listening to that song.
But you know, Thea, also good music or song to stream right now. Janine's music. What if I missed you for the rest of the night?
Yes po.
Let's talk about that because it's trending on TikTok. Ano bang kwento nito? Napaka-interesting ng kwento nito. Sobrang musical genius.
Yes. Ay, interesting. Hindi ko alam. Kasi nasulat ko siya habang nasa CR ako. So, alam niyo yung naiwan ko yung cellphone ko. So, wala akong choice. Nag-isip na lang ako ng mga sad stuff. Na nakasulat ako ng kanta. Yay!
And right now, it's all over TikTok, not just in the Philippines, but also internationally.
Oh, thank you.
Janine, well, since we've mentioned your new
thank
song,
you.
okay lang ba? We hear a bit of it.
Okay lang ba mag-sample po ako, super fans? Sisigaw lang ako sorry, emo. Sige, 1, 2, 3. I have built a house where I wait for your return. I only want you to be mine. and not a lesson learned. And I will wait and wait and wait until this city burns. I will wait and wait and wait and live on what we were.
Grabe! Denise, parang wala lang kay Janine.
You know, while I was listening, aside from being in awe, I was like, paano mo maiisip yun habang nasa CR ka lang?
Kasi naiwan ko nga yung cellphone ko.
Grabe!
Parang lagi kailangan iwanan mo na yung cellphone mo palagi. So you can bring more songs to live like those.
Supporting OPM. Thank you po.
Support OPM. I can't stress this enough, a musical genius. At dahil we love your presence here.
As you know, Janine, meron tayong Wall of Fame dito sa MPL where we want to honor Filipinos who are excelling in their fields, and we want to invite you to sign this as an you.
All right, MPL fans, Janine Berdin officially signs at our Wall of Fame. Palakpakan naman natin si Janine Berdin. And right now, Janine, we would like to invite you, some of our fans and some of your fans here would love to have some of your photo cards. Is that okay? Mamigay tayo right now.
Yes, okay lang po mamigay.
We have, ilan ba to? 50 ata to?
50 pa naman
bibigay. Mamimigay lang tayo some of the special fans here.
So we'll be
Some
going
napipili ni
around.
Janine. All right, raise your hands if you want a photo card.
Hello po! Hello po! Paano po ba? Paano po ba? Hello po! Sorry! Hello po!
Ayan!
Seru banget Bang, itu Kak. Seru banget anjir.
Pupunta po ako. Sorry po! Sorry!
Sorry.
Hello po! Hello po! Salamat po! Hello po!
Aduh, depan guys.
Thank you po! Ay, meron pa ko isa! Thank you po! Ay, ito. Madami daw eh. Ito po. I'm sorry. Gusto niya po ba? Sabi niya, ayaw ko. Char! Ay, sorry, Maite. Thank you po. Hello! Sorry po. Kulang. Sige. Sorry, isa lang mo magkakagay. Ano ba yan? Hindi kita. Nanay. Pangit na sulat ko. Sorry. Bye-bye po. Thank you po.
Alright, palakpakan naman natin, Janine Berdin! Oh my gosh, Janine, ramdam mo ba yun? The MPL super fans love you right here.
Super fan din po ako, kaya thank you. Maraming salamat po.
We love you so much. At ibabalik na natin sa bakbakan. In 3, 2, 1, we would like you to say our line for the season. Palag na to.
Yeah.
Alright, are you ready? In 3, 2, 1,
Palag na to!
Thank you so much, Thea, Denise, and Janine Berdin, the singer, the creator of our current song right now, Palag na to. How you feeling, Redmar?
Why did I not receive it?
Yeah, he's... Redmar, you all right?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm still salty. I didn't get a card.
Hey, maybe we can get one of those special edition cards. Well, okay, if you guys missed game 1, Rora won in about 18 minutes, if I recall correctly, in game 1. And I don't know if people were expecting game 1 to go that way because Aurora looked different than they did all season long. Let's take a look at Prime Edward here. Finals MVP of MPL Philippines Season 7 and MPL Philippines Season 10. And these are the breakdowns of his stats. Renmar, can you take us through this Prime Edward time?
Yeah, of course, this was highlighting his time with Blacklist International. I wouldn't like to, so far, yeah, it's probably his prime now, but of course, if he keeps on going on, then his prime gets even longer and longer. And he played a prime role in the previous game, of course, the call by Aurora for the surprise Benedetta pick to ruin a lot of what the Oni composition wanted to do. But now we look at Season 17, Edward. At this point, he's the 2-time world champion. He won his first one with the Blacklist International M3, of course, with Aurora in M7. And it's changed somewhat because the heroes, the meta have shifted. That a lot of his best heroes really just boil down, especially for the season, to the Lapu-Lapu. He's one of the few that still consistently would like to pick it up over anything else, which puts a bit of a mindset check on the staff of Aurora. They want Edward to be the guy who would sacrifice himself for a play, sacrifice himself for info, even more so than the team's roamer. Initiate a trade through that. That's always been playstyles of teams that have wanted to make Edward excel. But you can only get to so much with that point. You have to evolve. Funnily enough, his evolution is by showing an old trick from the past. Still a really great Benedetta.
Yeah, so I wonder what that means for going in the game too, you know, because since you mentioned, you know, Edward's such a cornerstone to making this work for Aurora, will he be more on one of those most used heroes that we've seen him previously throughout the season, or will it be another kind of curveball for him in the XP lane? We are going over to, was it Expanding Rivers? Yeah, Expanding Rivers. Do we have rivers flowing through here, man?
Yep.
Those were, okay, those.
Everything was river.
Yeah, everything was river.
It was wet.
River. Everything, yes. That's true.
Covered in H2O.
H2O. Let's go to the draft. Got Roar on the blue, Onyx here on the red. They will take out the Fanny, the Kalea right now. They go for Freya here. Jushin's probably going to be banned down too.
Yeah. If there's any lessons to learn and take away from game one is the whole Marcel Valentina trade.
Yep. Yeah.
Just pin that down, and then we can turn a chapter in this best of 5.
Yeah. Don't overlook your gold lane in the first phase. There's a reason why Harith and Claude is such a big trade consistently, globally. And it's not to say that Harith will win always win over Claude. It's quite even. And I think Onyx can get away with picking up the Claude early on. The only thing here is, again, don't overlook the Valentina. So Aurora banned out the Kalea, but if Aurora go for the same route of picking up the Marcel while there's a Valentina for Super Friends, that's not going to be good.
But statistically, and if you'll remember, Light's games on the Marcel, they did not work out.
Yeah,
so did he learn to pick up the Marcel in the past week and a half? It plays a very different way from what we know Light to do.
Yeah. That's why I think, you know, deciding whether it's going to be, okay, good ban there at the Jushin. Deciding whether it's going to be that kind of setter that Light needs, or just like even with a Khalid, like he's able to go ahead and be activated so much in the previous game because he was able to provide vision, do his thing while, you know, taking care of himself with the heals.
Amuse me with this prediction.
Okay.
What if they just let Onyx try to go for Valentina Marcel? If they don't do that red 1 and 2, then they break the combo either way.
That was in my head too, but then there's, with the presence of Phoveus, Harith, there's a lot to trade for.
And Claude.
Yeah, and Claude. If Aurora willingly give that,
yeah,
I'm not a fan of it.
Not a fan. Oh, Guinevere being banned out though. This will tell us, like, do they lock in the Marcel or do they go Harley for Demon Kite?
I'm more on the cray maybe I've been casting a bit too much outside of MPLPH. Think of the Valentina now. There's just so much weight on that hero.
Yep, you block out the Sora too?
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Okay, fine.
Sorry, this is...
It's MPLPH for...
Yeah, it's MPLPH for a reason. You know, they'll grab the Harley. They can surely still... Unless it is going to be the response, like, picked up right now by Onyx, it's something they could still play around with or into, or maybe, again, Aurora wants to take their own stab at the combo of the Gord Harley. There's plenty of options that they can go for instead, but over for Onyx anyway.
I think Onyx would be okay with picking up a surprise roamer pickup, like a Khalid Claude early on, that type of deal.
Or Valentina Khalid.
Or Valentina Khalid also, just get your roam mid duo already.
Just win the early.
Yeah, pick up your gold at red 3, then jungler second phase. So they go Phoveus Claude instead. They're trying to turn off a Valentina pick potential from Rora.
I think they're on the same mindset. It's like, there's no way Light plays Marcel.
Yeah.
I don't think it's... I don't know. It's someone who is a fan of Light. I just don't want to see him on him. I'd rather see him on a Badang before Marcel, honestly.
On a Cho.
On a Cho or something else, yeah.
If ever Aurora might get greedy and then suddenly surprise pick up like a even Harith together, just so that they could get their combo in, but you show all magic damage.
That's your course.
Yeah, your course, and then they'll adjust for EXP and Roam, which would make the drafting quite obvious. So they get the Clint. This is one of the bans early in the first phase by Onyx. Take away the Hilda. And I think this is where we're going to see Light peter around. Just trades between Hilda and Khalid. You really can't go wrong with just prioritizing those two heroes over and over again in this current metagame. So now the pressure's on Onyx. Do they pick up their jungler here? They do. And
All right.
Leomord.
They'll take their Leomord. If this wasn't like Edward, for example, I'd say, you know, this Hilda could still be flexed. Technically, I just don't think we're going to be in a world where Edward plays the Hilda. But who knows? Aurora has changed over the week and a half or so. So maybe they have something up their sleeve. But what about the Clint? Is this the right time to go and just pick this up now?
Okay, so the problem is they have Harley in the jungle, they have Hilda in Rome. You put all the pressure on Edward now. Unless Edward goes into the EXP with a Hilda, then you get something like a Hylos or a Gatot for light. Maybe even a surprise Badang pick later on to break the tempo of the Leomord. I think Onyx should not forget about the Sora here. If they give the Sora somehow to Edward, King Kong's gonna have a bad time during the turtle fights. Even Claude on the Claude, even Severo on the Claude, excuse me.
Joseph, to tickle your brain on the whole Clint situation, why it came up so early. Remember in the early days of Season 17, Rora brought out the Leslie?
Yeah.
Clint does a better impression of that kind of damage profile against the Claude. It's on-demand burst that the Claude can't deal with.
That's true.
And it's safer than a Leslie. So
there's more range. I guess it also kind of helps, like, for example, we saw how tough it was if you don't have the range, like on a Bruno. Well, Clint, at least he can still do damage from afar, you know?
So, I've only ever casted elsewhere last weekend, and that time I saw Thailand. So that's where I saw it.
Yeah.
It's a Clint versus a Claude.
Did it usually end up winning then in that matchup? Or was it more so just kind of a 50-50 tie depending on who's playing it?
I need to revisit my stats.
Okay.
I think the tough thing here now for the second phase is Lilia is going to be... Okay, never mind. Onyx read the Lilia perfectly. Thinking if Roar are crazy enough to pack something like a Valir onto Yue with all of the dive, a well-timed Searing Torrent ruins the team fight of Onyx, and the pokes as well, which might alleviate pressure from the EXP and the Roam to hold down long enough. Aurora also needs some really sure stun. I know they have the power of wildness, but I think Hylos or the Badang is just really good for their lineup right now. All that tempo breaking.
Yeah.
With the Marcel open, tough because you still have a Marcel Valentina trade also still active. It's looking like... Oh, wait, no, they forgot the Sora. They're willing to give the Sora?
Oh, okay. I guess they are going to give the potential for a sword to come through.
And they're pressuring Onyx, like, go ahead, pick up the Marcel. I think Onyx would want to consider something like a Leomord now. They take out the Khalid. You're gonna be slower in terms of the map, but as long as you can get fast clear, they took away the concussive blast roamers, unless they settle for either Gatot or Hylos. Oh, Aurora and Onyx heads right now, man.
Yeah, this is sort of one of the things that you look to see in the draft throughout the playoffs and how it differs from the regular season, and some of these patterns definitely are different.
Yeah, I think crazy enough to pick up a Cho if you're Onyx later on. They take the Valentina, good, but they lack a reach. They are all gonna be dive here, and Aurora can change that with a great pickup in the mid.
I got it. The Clint did win against the Claude. It was Bacon Time versus ACT. And Guns on Bacon Time just ran roughshod on that Claude. So yeah, it does work. It's a better impression on what Rora did early in the season, which they lost, by the way.
Yeah.
This is long-term storytelling.
Long-term. And it's nice that it comes through, because I think in this case you'll get to have that picture painted too, how well that Clint does, because he's slowly popped up towards the end of the regular season more and more.
Lacking. Oh, so high chances Hilda might actually go in the HP, but there still could be a swerve. Got the catch as expected, and they get the gourd.
That's what I thought, man.
Yeah, good closeout, good range, good balance. It's just so balanced right now for Aurora, while Onyx are just full in your face that if they don't win Turtle 2 or Turtle 3 with significant kills for the Leomord, maybe even the Phobius, Aurora can win this in the long run.
The only way Onyx can actually get to the gourd is through the Claude, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah.
And that's a little too dangerous.
It's expected.
It's what was left on the board.
Yeah, that's why they needed to pick up the Cho. They picked up the Valentina for safety, but you knew the Cho was coming out because of the Clint there, and even with how a Harley and Hilda would like to enter. Wave the Dragon's really good, but this puts a lot of pressure on the Roman trio of Onyx and their early to mid game. That if they don't get a considerable lead early on, Rora win in the long run.
Yeah, this is quite the interesting draft to go through for Game 2. some similar concepts, but just kind of flipping over onto the other side. You guys can let us know what you think, and don't forget to make sure you guys scan that QR code earlier on to get a chance to win 1,000 MLBB Diamonds. We'll have that every match throughout the playoffs here. One last glimpse at our lineups. If I had to go and say this is going to be one team or the other here, I like what Onyx brought to the table. I'm wondering if Aurora will start as quick as they did in Game 1, though.
Because of the full dive playstyle of Onyx, Aurora are banking on the fact that a well-timed flicker is better real estate than a well-timed Purify.
Yeah.
Because once those dives are committed by Onyx and they use those abilities and Aurora gets the flicker out, gap closing for the rest of Onyx is gonna be a struggle.
Okay, looking at this too, emblems pretty standard across the board. A lot of early aggression. This is what we expected from Onyx, at least, especially with that Valentina. They're actually going to go ahead and send back already. Light to reset.
Look at this. Classic Onyx, the orange gambit.
Yeah.
And they know they sent Light back, so King Kong will get his num-nums. That's Grand Theft Green right there.
Yep. It's not going to be a double green take. He won't even take his own Lizard. Skips out and helping in the clear in mid. Will go straight to his own Golem. If I'm not mistaken. Nope, it's he's doing the Golem orange pull that Leomords can do.
Yeah, going
oh, no.
No, he's just getting orange, it looks like.
Oh,
mid lane.
Brusco running through two. That's just what you can do with a Cho. I like that Roar's just applying as much pressure as you can, despite them going up against the Valentina.
Yeah. So the rotation for Demon Kite was he got the gold crab up top, also got his own Lizard, and he should hit 4 after taking his orange buff.
Yeah, this main thing too for Roar to be cautious about is especially when that Brusco hits that level 4, you know, once he's on the Cho and has the kick, that's one thing. But also Super Prince, depending on what ultimate he wants to take, which will most likely be the Mystic Gush throughout the majority of this game, unless somehow you see him take something else, maybe the Avatar of the Guardian. But so far, it's one of those things where these kind of compositions, you really can't do too much till you hit some crucial level 4s across the board here.
Oh, look at this. Signature doming, winning that lane in the face of Severo's Claude. He took that gold crab like it was nothing.
Yeah, much easier for Clint to pull that off. Aurora, no, they can't full commit this too hard.
Oh, Mystic Gush by Yue, maximum range. In comes King Kong and the jump by Light. King Kong still secures, and they punish Edward. Nowhere to go for a Hilda deep inside the pit like that. Onyx win the first turtle trade. Now Light comes in. Perk almost gets taken down. Oh, Light so close to going down. It's all Onyx from here.
Good coverage there by Super Prince and Brusco to really help Kirk. It would not have helped the cause of Onyx if Kirk fell there. Of course, Domikite still locked in with getting gold. As Severo left lane a little bit, Doming was able to get a few hits on the tower. He still gets the hit on the second. At this point, it would be the third crab, excuse me. But Severo does have an EXP lead. He's gonna go for the double lane 3 minutes in.
Okay, so pretty safe start anyway. You know, 1 kill did go over, but nonetheless objective as well. Aurora, not too much ground that they have to cover. Because they have a Harley, they can make this happen really quickly if they're able to go ahead and focus down on a potential gank in one of these off lanes here. It's more so of who do they actually go for. Part of it is playing around the tempo of, again, Brusco, what he's been doing. He's so proactive on this show here, giving information over, and it just kind of leading into this. Super Prince has the Avatar of the Guardian himself. I don't know if he's going to get rid of that or not, or if he's actually going to try to just utilize it here, but we might look to see if Onyx can actually be the ones to go ahead and start something up before the next turtle comes up.
Severo finally gets a last hit on the crab between the 2 gold laners.
Oh, Brusco!
Brusco looking for that kick, finds it off angle. He does catch a deadly magic, plus the combo, the gourd! Throws out that gosh, and the ALG closes off the exit. Now Super Prince does not save Brusco, and in comes Edward.
Woi, kok baper? Anjir baper, guys. Aku baper.
Wailing away, looking for targets. King Kong can't fight. Now there's the...
Baper, guys. Aduh. Anjir lagi.
Kung kaya sila masusuporkan yan ng mas maayos? Kailangan ko magpalit ng strategies?
Nagagampanan ko kaya ng maayos ang role ko.
That gosh, and the ALG closes off the exit. Now Super Prince does not save Brusco, and in comes Edward, wailing away, looking for targets. King Kong can't fight. Now there's the...
And they're gonna dive Domenkite, and then first tower breaks up top. Onyx are looking to see if they can expedite that process.
Yeah, the biggest gap here, too, between the lanes anyway, is Kirk leading Edward slightly. Well, no, hold on. Yes, quick math. It's about the same between him and mid. Gold lane is nearly dead even, so this is more so who has the upper hand in terms of timing with the ultimates or the kits that they have here, and that's what we've seen Onyx a lot of times. Aside from that kick that was off by Brusco, that's going to happen sometimes, especially when you're trying to get that angle just right.
Yeah.
And that's where that tough work comes in for Brusco on this Cho to utilize it. Blade of Hephaestus, first item for Edward locked in. Genius Wand 2, pick up now for Aurora, so that's going to help UA's damage burst profile a little bit more.
Yeah, so a lot of the problems that Onyx might have in team fights when it comes to reaching the gourd, reaching the Clint, is also answered now by the fact that Super Prince keeps getting the Avatar of Guardian of the Gatot Kacha. And I think that's going to be okay. Keep that pick up. You don't need to rush for the, or get the Mystic Gush. You'll have enough damage in your dive. Just go all in the idea of getting in the face of Aurora to make the gourd and the Clint uncomfortable.
Yeah, you put enough pressure there where you can't even get the right lineup there with the ultimate of the gourd for UA.
Uh-oh.
Oh, this pressure on Severo.
Severo answers with a blazing duet. Down in the jungle, though, they find DK, the celebrity. Gets caught down by a three-man paparazzi squad.
Oh, Yue and Edward. Okay, good projectile there by Yue. It gives space for Domenkite and Light to push that tower up top. Severo not falling is good. But Super Prince has an angle to hold. 10 seconds for the next turtle.
Uh-oh.
I think it's going to be all Onyx for that one, unless Aurora catch Onyx off guard.
Dear God, off cam, the beast actually took DK's lunch money.
Yeah.
That is a purpleless Harley going into the final turtle.
We were wondering where they were going to put the pressure. They put it on the jungler of Aurora. Demonkite goes down, now is buffless. Turtles up here, last one of the game. And Onyx has control of this. Aurora.
Coba bentar. Dari servernya, guys.
Might want to just let this one go.
And there's nowhere for Edward to go. The gush, the full combo, the answer, blazing duet, the forward push. Brusco gets punished. And there's an AOG by Light, no one home. And they force back Edward. King Kong looking to run him through, run him over, and they'll find Yue. King Kong takes him down. Domenkite the damage in there just yet. There will be a momentum swing. Super Prince takes down Light, and no one else follows. The Super Fam, get on out of there.
Severo also gets to open up the map in the mid with a push there. And he did a great little job. Instead of actually committing a full blazing duet chase onto Yue and Aurora, he decided to back off, which pulled the attention from Light away from Aurora. He was able to survive. He got space because he knows he doesn't need to be the sweeper all the time. You're playing through a Leomord. All of the conditions that we laid down for Onyx to hit are being met perfectly by Onyx.
Yeah, you can see that with the way these items are falling into place for them too. Severo's going to go ahead and knock down this tier 1. He should be able to get it just in time. Yep, Aurora won't be able to defend that one. So opening up the map even further up to this point. Onyx has control of it, and I think even to an extent they'll continue to at least give information and put pressure on the purple buff of Demonkite as Brusco and Kirk are both around here. But since King Kong doesn't really have to worry about this. Actually, he's going to rotate for this too. I guess they just want to fight it out, knowing that these tier 1s are down in the mid, but it will be secured by Demonkite. Domenkite now picks up the Malefic Gun. So the hope here is that he's had enough time to farm up to where he needs to make this Clint now shine, as he's got the range to duel with. I think your main point, though, is the problem you pointed out earlier, Renmar. It's, you know, for the most part, Super Prince taking the Avatar of the Guardian. It's so efficient on making Aurora kind of scrambled in a way on what to do. And because I mentioned this earlier in the draft too, Edward being on a Hilda, it's so honest the way that he approaches the fight. So it's not like Edward can swing around to the backside or try to cut some off or replicate that pressure against Onyx.
And that's the thing. When he does try to swing for the backside, that's all he does.
Yeah.
Because just the same, Aurora can flicker out of the way from Onyx dive. Onyx can do the same to Edward, pick him off, and then go again.
I think Edward needs to stay with the back line so that he can power of Wildness the entry of the Claude. Onyx are going for the blitz on the Lord.
Lord now at a 10th of its health, a 12th, a 16th, and the Super Fam secure with very little resistance.
Let's go!
Light catches a lot. Look at the back line. He gets the kick on a Demonkite, and Severo finishes the job. How did the Bruiser do that? and they find the next target, Edward. No bush nearby, forcing you to get that gush through and a flicker. Onyx are just calling all the shots.
Brusco made up for the one-off that he missed the angle. Now he finds the mark in Demon Kite. They're going to take down this tier 2 in the mid as well.
Brusco is on a hot streak. He's got educated feet, man. Like, sure, he missed one, but whatever else followed just keeps Aurora honest.
Yeah, that was a conceal from mid 2. Lord marching down bottom. Onyx looks like they could get more towers. Everything has gone well for the Super Fam, but they still cannot get greedy here up against a Gordon, a Clint. Wave clear is actually terrific.
Yeah, the wave clear biggest thing right now for Aurora to potentially turn the game around. They still have to solve the issue of either avoiding Brusco's setup every time that flicker is going to be available, and even if he does have it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Deadly Magic thrown out. Lord will charge in.
That's what you call the business of wall banging. Yeah. Brusco's just backing in, backing out, forcing a response. That's why he caught the Deadly Magics. Allowed for the rest of Onyx to pop that shield.
Yeah, that was a perfect space creation by Brusco. And I liked the idea of the Cho even before he came out because I was reminded of that absolute crazy win. Wait!
Oh! They break out a fight. Kirk here catches, what, 2-3 seconds in the combo. Now they punish Edward! Edward Balboa falls! King Kong once more. They push him back. Another Deadly Magic's caught here by the Super Fams. Cavalier. King Kong backs off.
Okay. I think they can get the tower and a few pokes on the tower in mid. They have the numbers advantage, and there's no Hilda.
Yeah, they can focus on the turret.
Brusco again, as a one-man army pushing back. Aurora, Light comes through. They just want this. They call it the momentum, the charge, the pushback. Light taken down.
Wow. That was just great execution by King Kong to get that knockback onto Light, and the follow-up by Onyx. That was gorgeous.
Yep, though they work for this turret.
Still can't get it though.
1 HP, okay, they're not gonna get it down, but hey, I think Onyx is happy with that. They're still in the driver's seat throughout this game. They've controlled everything up to this point.
As the great Mr. Chow said, but did the turret die? So it's worth it.
It's worth it.
For now.
For now, it's 1 HP away. I think, then again, it's something that this lineup can do is just buy enough time to go ahead and clear these waves out. I think part of it, though, is Aurora struggling to figure out how to approach these team fights.
Yep.
Because if they do if Light jumps too forward, then who's going to peel for Dominkite? If it's Edward, again, Edward can only really run in one direction, right? That's the biggest problem with this Hilda XP lane.
I feel like overthinks in the draft are very active. Though I understand the Atlas ban. Maybe I'm just a little bit biased towards the Atlas. Valentina ended up with Onyx the show. The fact that Edward's on something like a Hilda, I think should have been a different pick.
Well, right now, fighting for this Lord, Aurora shows even down at 8,000 gold that they're willing to get in range for it, but maybe this is just a feint. Deadly Magic's thrown out. They should get out of here.
Lord here gets secured easy by the Super Fam. They're looking to punish Light, but Light skedaddles. AOG stolen Super Prince. He flickers back. All of that just to steal the orange away.
Let's see how many towers Aurora are gonna lose here. Is their wave clear good enough? The gourd is only up to a glowing wand.
Hold up. Even on the fadeaway, Demon Kite still got his orange.
Yeah.
And he grabbed it.
Has his core items, but right now Onyx can take a lot of that. I mean, as long as Severo isn't the guy taking it. Oh, but he has a Winter Crown also. Oh, this could be it.
Even Kirk could take like 3 seconds of the full combo.
Yeah.
We saw that just a little bit ago.
And still re-engage.
Yeah. Radiant Armor, Athena Shield is pretty much all Kirk really needed to withstand that.
Plus the top boots.
But yeah, plus the top dudes. Yeah, that's part of it too. Turret finally falls in the bottom lane. Lord is there. Onyx, do they try to punch this one in with a win? They don't have a wave pushing in. That's the unfortunate thing off this Lord. They don't really have further waves other than the mid. Can they get this though? It's going to be cleared out pretty quickly. Brusco
coming through, kicking Edward in, but Brusco will fall. They trade out for that
King Kong,
and King Kong finds DK. Down goes that little magical baby boy, and there's just 4 defenders left. Aurora have lost one of their cores. Onyx gonna take this slow as they take 10,000 gold up on Aurora.
That's worth it, man. In our own RGs, that's when we'd be saying, nice trade, nice trade.
Yeah, nice trade. I think they wanted to potentially take the top one too. Severo held on to the Blazing Duet. Didn't have to use it. Onyx showing discipline. They just get a base turret. Yes, they have to sacrifice Brusco for that, but worth the trade. They'll take what they want from Aurora and further in their lead at 10,000 up.
So Dominkite still got a good time getting farm. He's only one full item behind Severo, if I'm not mistaken. Severo's about to complete his last one, which I believe will be the Malefic Gun. Well, Domikai just got the first component for his last item after getting the CA Halberd. This could be a BOD, let's see. While the difference between the mid laners, again, as we've said a lot this season, this is how you can tell if it's comebackable or not. Once Yue gets his fourth item, unfortunately not his third, then it's Onyx not ending the game quick enough, and Rora can definitely make a comeback. But so far, he's only up to a Blood Wings, and still on the way to the third item. So it's going to be a long time until Aurora can make a comeback. Onyx just, well, they shouldn't throw, to put it bluntly.
Yeah, if they end up losing this game, that's kind of what it's chalked up to. Divine Glaive's picked up, though, finally, here for the Gord.
In juxtaposition, they should throw themselves at Aurora.
Yeah.
Now that they have a 10,000 gold lead, just ride that to victory. Blitz this Lord coming up in 10.
Yeah.
And then end there.
Yeah. If Aurora still survives this Lord, that's alarm blares ringing already.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not impossible to come back from these types of deficits if you're Aurora, you know,
for sure.
9, 10,000 gold. We've seen it before. That can happen. This Lord is up. Onyx is going to go ahead and start it. Aurora has the information here, though.
They're still going to try to contest. They try to blitz down Light, forcing out a Revitalize from that Gatot Gacha. Lord at a third of its health. There's a projectile thrown out by Yue. And it gets soft reset. Wow, Onyx are respecting Rora.
Yeah, Demon Cat is way too close within retry range. Brusco still has his kick, though.
No, Light's probably got to go back to reset this. He already used his regen and the Revitalize, so with Light gone, they're going to delay it further.
Oh, Brusco catches the Deadly Magics, tries to... Oh! There's the BMI, there's the Gush. Down goes Light, Super Prince takes him down. That is a man advantage for the Super Fam. And now the Lord's still standing. Frozen! DK with the steal! But they punish Yue. They run through the rest of Aurora.
Bang!
As Domikai falls. 3 for the Lord.
Onyx needed to clean up house. Demon Cat and Edward are the only ones left. Lord spawns in 10 seconds while minion waves are crashing for Onyx.
Far from unfavorable. Onyx still go for it. The Lord will spawn in 10, but they will end right here, right now. The Super Fam are on the board, 1 for 1.
Lord Gambit, Aurora matched it, but Onyx met it perfectly. 1 for 1 after cleaning house.
And that one was a dominant one for Onyx throughout the game 2. There was a little bit of a chance if they could have just held on a little longer, but that dance, that's the new evolved dance, the Lord Pit that we see, where they whittled down Light, the front liner there for Aurora. Even with Demon Kite getting in range to get the Lord, they just didn't have the firepower, the economy, the itemization to win the team fight.
Onyx, I feel like they triggered that team fight knowing that Aurora would respond just like that. Because with the position of where Severo came from, with the Winter Crown Blazing Duet, that looked like a team that wasn't surprised. That looked like a team that was ready. It's like, guys, you just have to win it here. Even if they get the Lord, we can run them down. And they did run them down.
Just let them.
Yeah.
It is the equivalent of throwing bodies.
Yeah.
They just wanted to throw bodies when they were sure. And when they saw that Demon Kite overextended for the Lord, then all the more they were sure. What's crazier is Demon Kite actually lived.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that he was the one to live. King Kong will get the MVP here. Great performance on the Leomore. There's a reason why they went ahead and picked it, locked it in. This is the classic answer, though. When we see the Harley prioritize the blue side, you see Leomore picked up right away.
And 100% kill participation shows just how locked in right now. Super Friends, King Kong, and Brusco was, especially in their last game. They get the Cho and Valentine. Kind of criminal, they got away with it. But I think Aurora, again, looking at the Atlas and Khalid, if they banned out the Valentina, the Atlas could have been picked by Onyx by Red 4 if ever it was the Atlas they let through. And yes, the Atlas also would have served problems for Aurora. It's just that Aurora weren't able to find those early trades to keep the gap close. They couldn't be competitive for Lord 1 and Lord 2. And that's how, you know, Onyx can just run away with it. And it was up to them not to completely botch this game.
Yeah, if they would have lost this one, it would have been a tough loss. And then they would have been facing, what, match point? Yeah. This is great that they were able to equalize the series, though, here. Because now, you know, when you come into this and you go into game 3, it's like, all right, maybe it's more so of this this drafting chess game that we see so often between these teams in the MPO Philippines. And, you know, even when you have a solid combo of heroes, specifically the Harley and the Gord, for example, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have free reign. Onyx answered that so well by putting pressure back on Aurora just the way that Aurora did to them in game 1.
Dominkai didn't even get to play. I'll tell you now that this Clint did not reach even half of its potential. He wanted so much more to do. It's just when it came time, there was no one to peel for him.
Yeah. The Hilda pick, I feel like, was a bit of an overthink also. Just because they saw the Claude, I was like, oh, let's go ahead and pick Hilda. I know that they were playing on the idea of flex.
Yeah.
But even if you put that on the roam, it would have been the same problem with the EXP side. You're up against a Phoveus. You still wouldn't have enough peel. It's a little bit too offensive-minded. I think in the end, after everything I've said about Onyx and dogging on them in the draft in game number 1, the recovery in this draft for game number 2 was excellent.
Again, they actually pinned down on what we talked about. Yeah. The Valentina Marcel trade, and they played the offensive side of that coin. Heads or tails, whichever you take it. The fact that, hey, Light's not gonna Marcel.
Yeah.
Let's just secure that Valentina.
To secure it. And again, I think, you know, maybe I'm wondering where the idea came through, if it was in the second phase for Aurora, because I really thought that it would be a roam Hilda. Like, I really thought that was the case, and, you know, I know in even global MLBB, we think, oh, okay, that could still be flexed. It happened to go over to Edward, and I was just like, that's not the hero that I'm thinking Edward would play after the Benedetta, or like that he would be the most efficient on, and it just so happened that that's what they went with in game 2.
Yeah. I think what got stuck was the fact that since Onyx showed Valentina Red 4 already, they knew that they couldn't go Sora. The Lapu-Lapu or something like an Alice also would have been underwhelming. The Ruglu would have been risky again because of the multiple ways that Onyx can approach a team fight. I think it was just they were read out. Aurora banked a bit too much on the late game ideas that a simple Cho Valentina to close out the draft was just really good.
Yeah. Brusco's also just, aside from the one kick that he couldn't get the angle, which wasn't his fault. Like, he went deep. He went deep for that one. So that's really difficult to make it happen.
Yeah, and that led to actually a win for Onyx because that forced resources out. That forced resources out of Aurora, which gave a little bit more space for Onyx to operate.
He even took the deadly magic, you know. So Brusco really making this Cho work. One of the few players that does play the Cho like this. But to break it down a little bit further, we're going to be throwing over to Hans and Wolf over there on the on-ground panel.
Maraming salamat sa ating casters. It is now 1-1 after Onyx Philippines have equalized the situation matapos ng magandang laro na ginawa din kanina ng Aurora. But let's focus on this game number 2. We saw King Kong play exceptionally well. Kaya nga siya ang MVP ng laban na to. But I think you have something else that you would want to cover for this game.
Yeah, I think the reason bakit naging MVP si King Kong is dun sa pag-retry niya. Pero hindi niya magagawa kung hindi dahil dun sa Cho coming up from Brusco. At tingin ko rin yung hero pick na yung mismong pagkakadraft ng hero, the last pick Cho, was really interesting. You wouldn't think na pipili pa rin yan kasi may gatot catcher na dun sa kabila and meron ng Hilda. Pero yung nagawa niya in the first 2 minutes was instrumental dun sa kanila pagkapanalo. It's mainly because kung paano niya na-zone out yung kanyang mga nakakalaban.
Yeah, especially when we saw the early portions of the game. Mas nakikita natin na nagagamit lalo ng Onyx Philippines yung mapa. We see Brusco kind of ganking them towards the back. Talagang hinahanap niya yung tamang targets, which is the reason why may mga oras na talagang napipick off si Demon Kite completely and there's no other damage na panggagalingan itong Aurora in spite of having Clint in their roster.
And in relation to that, makikita natin sa ilan sa mga papakita nating video dito, yung mga nagagawa na achieve ng isang Cho. Even when it's just a level 3 hero, makikita natin dito, yung gagawin niyang pang zone out at nung papansin nyo, hindi ko na kailangan masyadong explain kasi makikita nyo naman kung gaano siya naging problema para doon sa damage dealers. Even ginugulo si Yue nung sa nakikita nyo dito sa clash na to. And most importantly, makikita natin yung pag-retribution nga na pagpapanalo doon ni King Kong. So, there's really not much to explain about that, but the fact lang na nag-achieve pa rin ito na isang hero mula dito sa side ng Onyx Philippines sa last pick na Cho. Kasi nga naman, hindi niya na inisip yung mga nasa harap. This is not a stun plus retry. na diskarte mula sa Onyx Philippines. Ito yung zone out mo, Retrico, na galawan mula sa Onyx Philippines.
Ano mo kaya nga sinasabi nung Filipino casters kanina na parang yung ibang ultimates na hindi nila nagagamit, excess, example, yung AOG na nanggagaling kay Super Prince, hindi niya nagagamit completely. So just waste it, hanap na lang siya ng panibagong ulti na magagaya, and then work their way from there. That's just how smart they were playing in Game 2.
To add to that, makikita natin tong heat map coming out from Brusco. Nakikita niyo po yung first 2 minutes na galawan mula kay Brusco. Directed dun sa may gitna, control naman doon sa may bandang Rock Ursa ng side ng Aurora, and then eventually pupunta siya dun sa may bandang purple buff. Makikita natin dito na ang daming nabibigay na vision coming out from Brusco at naging instrumento para ma-delay yung Harley nitong sa Aurora. Kaya naman dun sa first turtle fight, parang madami pang kailangan nagpasa na doon si Demon kahit at bago siya makarating sa mismong turtle, bukod sa na-damage na ng Onyx Philippines yung turtle mismo, low na rin yung health at hindi na nakapwesto ng maganda doon si Jay.
And having a Harley on your squad, kinakailangan mo talaga ng napakagandang scaling. And for Onyx Philippines, napigilan nila yung scaling ni Demon kahit na yun. And with that being said, it is Game 2 going to the side of Onyx Philippines. But from what I'm seeing in this series, early game is very important. Aurora has managed to get theirs nung game number 1. Onyx naman pagdating sa game number 2. But game number 3 is right here with us. Casters, balik sa inyo.
Thank you, Hans. Thank you, Wolf, for the breakdown there. Nice little heat map we've got going on here and getting a closer glimpse on things, especially for Brusco, because it's so important for the roamers and how they move around the map. And we talked about especially the troll pick that he has and how efficient he was. Before we move on to Game 3, MPL fans, there's some new beasts on the Land of Dawn with the Infinix GT Watch 5 Pro on your wrist. GT Buds 5 in your ears, I wish I had those right now, and the GT 50 Pro in your hands. You can now unleash the liquid cooling beast powered by Hydrofold liquid cooling and 144 FPS. MLBB certified performance, no lag, no heat, pure cool, pure speed every game.
And as a gift for our MPL super fans, Infinix is launching an exclusive payday sale from May 27 and 31, that's right, playoffs weekend, with up to 30% off. Scan the QR code now and grab these sulit deals.
And for those MPL fans here at the venue, enjoy the exclusive GT50 Pro pre-order with 11,999 pesos worth of freebies and discounts, including an Infinix MPL jacket. Plus, the first 10 pre-orders daily at the Infinix booth will get free Grand Finals tickets. That's why don't be falling behind. Get your Infinix today.
That's real-time translations right there. Hopefully, you guys get a chance to go ahead and grab one of those because it's amazing. Also, to dominate the Land of Dawn, you got to grab this. You need a connection that never lets you down, from scouting rotations to tracking the pros. Stay online and in the zone.
Power up with Smart Power All 99. Get 10 gigs of data for MLBB and
share every GG moment with Smart.
Yes. Simply reliable partner of the FPL.
Hey, you know what? Just keep it. You're welcome. So sometimes we got to have each other's back here. Again, with our sponsors on, shout out to them. This wouldn't be possible without them. We've got this new venue, the MPL Arena, going on. I'm looking above us, man. I think the seats even all the way up there are starting to fill up. Those seats, like in our queue, I don't think those are for sale, right?
Yeah.
But those will probably be full towards the end of the playoffs too, just because they'll put people there.
Like right behind us, that's just full. Like you probably didn't say, oh my god, no one's watching FPLPH. But right there, full. And then there's lovely people right here.
What an opening.
There's a lot of super fans.
By tomorrow and by the weekend, this should fill up.
Yeah. I remember we completely packed the house for the Grand Finals in Cuneta, last year.
Yeah, we did. But I don't know, Santa Juan Arena, this is my first time here. I love it. But before we go into Game 3, we're going to have to go ahead and throw it over to our hosts to see what they've got going on for us.
It's the international rivalry, putting on a great show. It's 1-1 for Aurora Gaming and Onyx Philippines. And right here in the Champions Arena, please welcome the MDL Philippines Season 7 champions, Aurora Hunters!
But guys, before anything else, why don't you introduce yourselves and your roles to our MPL super fans?
Hello everyone, I'm Zen Romer from Aurora Hunters.
Hello po, ako si X6 man ng Aurora Hunters. I'm Dave, head coach of Aurora Hunters. I'm Vlad Expelay.
Kapo mid lane. Jungler, Dangero.
Atoms, gold laner.
Atams! Nung season 5 kung babalikan natin, you were almost there, being called the champion.
Odin, yung performance na yun, napaka-unforgettable and talagang pinakabang lahat ng nanonood because you guys were able to come back from a 1-3 game deficit. Pwede nyo bang makuwento kung paano yung nangyari doon?
Yung nangyari po kasi doon, ano lang. So, unforgettable moments po yung paano kami mag-reset, tsaka paano na pinag-usapan yung mga mali namin.
Naka-reset talaga sila. Grabe yung atmosphere doon sa Tagaytay Sports Complex. And right now, we're here with Dangero, a two-time MDL champion. At alam natin na iba talaga yung feeling kapag naglalaro ka with the crowd, live audience.
MDL niya Aurora
At
yang
dito ka
menang,
sa
guys.
Champions Arena. Ano ba yung
Aurora
vibe
niya
mo
emang
dito sa
kelas
ating
bener, guys. Dia bang
audience?
menang berarti.
Yun, mas nakaka-excite pala manood dito sa sa MPL PH Arena. Lalo ko, ang dami nanonood.
Kinakabahan ba kayo para sa Aurora Gaming?
Sakto lang. Confident kami na mananalo naman sila.
And speaking of the excitement, namomotivate ba kayo na baka kayo na yung susunod na maglalaro dito sa arena?
Pwede.
Pwede. Siyempre, yan ang developmental league natin. And moving forward, baka malay natin, kayo na ang susunod na nakaupo sa ating mga chairs. And after winning MDL Philippines, ano ba yung aasahan namin sa Aurora Hunters? Ikaw, Eska po, bilang regular season MVP at ang ating finals MVP, ano pa ba ang goal nyo na susunod?
Makapaglaro sa MPL, tsaka ang kaya international.
Aabangan natin yan, Thea. And with that, maraming salamat.
And you know, tapos na yung MDL, guys. And I'm sure you're here to support your main roster. Ano naman yung message nyo sa kanila, guys, now that they're playing and tied yung series?
Focus lang sila sa strength ng team. Tapos, since lahat naman gusto manalo, sana wag nila kalimutan enjoy yung game.
At enjoy nga yung game, Odin.
Thank you so much once again to MDL Philippines champions, Aurora Hunters. At ngayon, balik muna tayo sa ating international rivalry para ituloy ang bakbakan sa loob ng Land of Dawn. Casters, panag na to.
Thank you so much, Odin, Thea, and the Aurora Hunters. Whoa, estimated crowd attendance, by the way, of 5,500 people.
5 bands of worth of people here?
5 bands.
If you ask each and everyone here for 50 Philippine pesos each, you'd be loaded.
That's a lot of money.
I wouldn't mind walking away with 1 Philippine peso each.
Yeah. That's a pretty good amount of money. Hey,
I would treat all of y'all.
You would treat
a meal.
Oh, okay. I would. What would I get off that? Yeah, I'd treat you too. I would treat you back.
Or you'd buy yourself protein.
Yeah, I would. 5-pounder. That's about 5 pounds.
You
protein.
still owe me some protein.
Do I?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. What did I take of
He
yours?
gave you his meat?
No.
Oh.
No.
He has to because he took my.
I have to. Yeah.
Okay.
What did I take
He
again?
took my protein shake the other day.
Oh yeah, his scoop of protein. Well, you know who else
Do
takes
that to
protein?
King Kong.
King Kong.
King Kong.
Yeah, well, he takes protein. You know.
He did take mine.
I know. Well, how about Prime King Kong? King Kong. Let's look at his. This is his season 14. His stats across the board here. Sigma jungling patterns.
Yeah, that was his season. That was a point where you could still play these heroes. Nolan definitely is still a surprise pick that could show up. We did see Ling show up from time to time in MPLID, even just like last weekend. During their last week, it showed up. Roger, I don't miss him, honestly.
You don't miss Roger?
I don't miss Roger.
I miss Roger.
I miss Ling. But it's just way too demanding to play him now. But compared to where he is now, Suyo still up there.
Yeah.
But look at the growth. And it's the Baksha pick for King Kong this season that has been such a revelation. The fact that for the longest time, it's always been, King Kong can't play the tanks. He shows up with one really good tank pick, and now that changes the picture of the draft greatly for Onyx.
I was gonna say now it's always purple band.
Yeah.
For the most part, and then when teams don't, it actually comes through. Map 3, we're going to dangerous grass, randomized.
It's choice, random.
Random.
Last available for game 4.
And then totally random for 5. There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, at least we get to
see more of the maps here, since we're gonna have a guaranteed at least 4 games through this.
And we see all 4.
Yeah, we see all 4. Yeah. Let's jump into the draft here for Game 3. Again, both teams having relatively strong games individually from Game 1 for Aurora, Game 2 for Onyx. And this one, again, the big pattern comes down from even that first phase of the draft. Whoa.
That's a lot of grass.
How come we didn't have that much water for expanding rivers, man?
Yeah, can we just like drown out the crowd?
It was
with,
very translucent.
Yeah, water. I think they utilized the water from as like a light effect instead.
Yeah, but, definitely fueled by SIP, by the way, from the volcanic rocks.
It filtered through it. It is good.
All right.
Break that.
Phase is almost done here with the bans already. Nothing too different. Interesting though, yeah, that the Hilt is actually going to be banned this time for Game 3, so Onyx will go ahead and take that out, especially on the dangerous grass map.
Baksha's open. They ban the Kalea here, red 3.
Does Onyx just pick up Baksha?
I think it's warranted.
Yeah, to take it away from DK.
Yeah, but then Marcel, Valen, Harley, you're okay with it.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Marcel, you don't have to worry about.
Yeah. Pick up Baksha. I think they have to consider something that can help invade here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jushin, Claude.
Jushin, Claude.
And
So
then
expected by Aurora.
Then they can steal Marcel.
Yeah.
Which is so much more possible because there's no Valentina on the other side.
Yeah, and there's a stat line here that Harith and Marcel together actually have a really good win rate. I took a screenshot of it, I can't find it. But
Harith and Marcel?
Yeah, it's like around a 60 or 70% win rate together and with a pretty good amount of games. I think there you can get away with a Harith Marcel here. You already get your gold lane. It's the typical duel between the Harith and the Claude. You get the Marcel and the tempo breaking. It's fine. If you want to be disruptive, then maybe take away the light Khalid option. Oh, what a surprise!
Debut pick Paquito.
And in the first phase too.
In the first phase, going to Kirk.
That's how important it is to get the Paquito now.
So this was banned in Game 1.
Yeah.
Ignored in Game 2. Now it comes through in Game 3. What happened with Paquito?
Huge buffs, by the way.
Yeah, like specifically just damage throughput.
Yep.
It hurts, smoother to play.
Yep.
A little bit less awkward.
We don't get that kind of XP laner in anymore.
Yeah.
There's just no XP laner in the past year that does what Paquito does.
Which is why I'm glad, at least towards the regular season and then now, you know, we have some damage coming back into the XP lane that isn't just kind of like these bulwarks. They can be very threatening because just like the Benedetta can, Paquito as well, like you always have to worry about your back line. Where is this Paquito going to come from? The space is created too because you have a Baksha in the jungle. Harith, nothing new there. Harith, Claude is what it is and has been for the past, you know, seasons and years.
I think Aurora might have to consider either picking out the Alice. Glue most likely will get banned out. Alice and the Leaves, the lesser sexier option in the Uranus. I think their XPs need to revolve around that. Instead of trying to meet the Paquito duel for duel, you need a really solid body. Onyx will take out the Turizla. They leave the option up to Aurora.
Yeah.
But in the draft predictions, it seems like Sora is still an option that Aurora could go for. I'm thinking about the Sora. Should actually be okay. There's a Paquito. I don't think Paquito's going to the jungle. That's for sure going to the EXP. But they have to consider a Valentina might get picked up by Prince and Onyx if ever they do end up picking up the Sora later.
So if they do, Sora is interesting just because, again, it's been one of those picks that either comes through or not. And it's so dependent on also is there a Valentina or not. We're going to have to see if the... Behind us, what do they have going through here? We got the OG supporters out here for the Super Fan, by the way. Been making it through here throughout all the regular season.
All right.
No more picks are coming through, right? Yeah, okay, wait, no, the bans are. Sorry, the bans are, though. There's a Kaja ban. And there's one last ban still for Onyx.
Is that a combo that happens in scrims? There's only there are very few reasons why you would ban the Kaja here in this very slot for Aurora. Is there a Paquito Kaja combo that we don't know about?
Oh, there might be.
Oh, yeah, there was I think I saw that in MCTEA where they wanted to pair that together. They didn't have the right prick off burst for it, so the burst came from the Paquito. It didn't work out though. But it's like that kind of idea. You play a pick off and then your burst comes out of the Paquito, which is doable.
Our capacity crowd approaching 6,000 is just so hype.
I wonder if that is going to break by the time we get to the finals, man. Because the noise intensity here live is insane. Like, what a showing for the first day of the playoffs here for Season 17. This is what you expected, though, when two teams, you know, champions, world champions in their own right. And now one of them, after this series, only one goes forward. We got a couple people playing some ML, looks like, too, while they wait.
Bothered.
That is such a super fan thing.
Yeah.
We've always talked about how like Onyx are just really clearly obsessed with the game, and even their fans are. They're playing while watching.
While waiting.
Oh, it's also good to see Brusco's fiance here, Ayu.
And Daddy King Kong.
And Daddy King Kong, Mommy King Kong too.
They never miss a game.
Yeah. Perfect attendance.
Big shout out to the VIP ticket. I believe that's VIP tickets too, the people up in front.
The couches.
This is
the
Mythic.
couches. This is Mythic, but then you see the little couches when we get a glimpse of it. That's the VIP tickets.
Oh, it's heaven. Oh my god, a little bit old school.
Follow the brain rot. Is it counted as brain rot? Ooh.
Oh man.
That's not Nick.
What happened to mewing? Is mewing still a thing? Oh, with all the looks maxers?
Well, kind of.
Is that how you get a jawline or something?
Yeah.
I don't keep up with the trends, man.
Mewing.
Everybody's showing their jawline.
They're mogging. Oh, it's a mog off.
The mog off.
Mog off.
I think this guy wins, man. Oh, it is actually a mog off.
It's size versus definition.
Oh.
Majority of people.
Hey, this guy's got extra camera work.
Yeah, that's true.
He's got the extra camera work.
He needed the help.
Yeah.
Oh
no!
That's the winner right there.
That's the winner.
That's the winner right there.
Is that our baby, the baby cub?
Yeah, that's the baby cub. That's
the baby cub.
Fourth bear bro, by the way.
Bear number 4.
Sorry, Ray Ash.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh.
I was this cute when I was a baby.
I could see that.
Right?
There's very little effort. He's just like, he knows.
Yeah.
I think they, so yeah, it looks like they're getting things situated over.
Is that Coach Justin? Did he come home early?
Coach who?
Coach Justin of KOG, is he home early?
Was it him?
He was in Jersey and everything.
Oh, wow.
That makes sense, though. I mean, Guangzhou Gaming's done.
It has been a few days.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's been some amount of days.
Oh, and Mingwin is playing later, so he might have come here with CY.
What are they showing us here?
Are those baby friends?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So for people wondering what's going on the Onyx side, seems like there was a bit of a mishap during the draft. We're not sure of the issue, but the Marshals, including our Chop Master Cent, are talking to Coach Bluffsy and Coach Hayes. So they're making sure that everything's settled. On the Aurora side, looks good.
Hey, is that former Liquid member GN?
Where?
Was on cam earlier.
Leo, you're really good with faces, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's lore.
And
those of you don't know, there was a time where KOLs and influencers were actually part of the lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when GN was part of Liquid.
Ah.
Echo at the time, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Wait, was that
I was thinking Liquid, but when you said Echo, it's like, okay.
Yeah, that's not Insanity, is it? Wait, who am I thinking?
That's a different sport, sir.
Oh, that's a different sport.
Very different sport.
GN with a J.
Ah, okay.
It's crazy how this our arena looks just on match number 1.
Hey, hopefully we got the mines and the Brung guys show up later too.
You know what's crazy? Last season we opened up with M4 and M5 with Falcons and Liquid.
Yeah.
Now we open for M6 and M7.
Yeah.
Well, we know if we're the champions of M5, but we're talking about the rosters here, yada yada yada.
It's them.
It's them.
taking a look at the head-to-head here for Severo and Nomenkite. This is what we were talking about coming into the series. You know, both of them locked in. It's also kind of crazy to see just how much focus goes into attacking the gold laners in the series, you know?
Yep, that's how Aurora won game 1.
Yeah.
They denied the whole Severo-centric playstyle.
I think also as long as Onyx doesn't get too greedy with very specific concepts, where in game number 1, clearly they really wanted Marcel Harley Gord.
Yeah.
And then Aurora just adjusted. I was surprised with the Gwyn, but then as it was going on, and then as we saw it in action, it was just a perfect foil alongside the Valentina, then the surprise of Benedetta in the end. Game number 2, Onyx, I think, were a little bit more low to the ground. They pick Phoveus as one of their first 2 picks, and they make sure they secure the Claude. Aurora, knowing that Harith into Phoveus is very risky, they went with a Clint instead. That was a bit of a checkmate. Then now here in game number 3, they get the Harith and Phoveus as Aurora decided to go for the Juice and Claude. Not to say there's a clear winner there, but for Onyx specifically, it seems like they've changed their priorities to be a little bit more low on the ground and getting out of the big concepts, big ideas that they think they could use to dominate.
Yep. Smiles across the faces here of Aurora because they're getting things settled in on the Onyx side.
It's been a while since we've actually seen the devilish smile of Nomenkite.
Yeah.
I like how, after everything that's happened in the regular season, it seems like they've reset well enough. It's a new start in the playoffs.
Yeah, which is a good sign for them. Again, they won game number 1. But there was a point where I think it was like 2 or 3 games before they ended it with like 2 wins, wherein they would win game number 1 and then would get reverse swept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, through history too, this is what we look at through our seeding history. 3rd versus 6th seed in the MPL Philippine playoffs. This is how things evolve and come to play. TLPH in season 16 is the only 3rd seeded team to win the championship.
That was just last season.
I forgot that they were 3rd seeded, man.
Yeah, that's why it was Falcons versus them in the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 and 6. 2 out of the 8 times that the 6th seed won versus the 3rd seed in the MPL playoffs was in Season 9 and the Season 14 play-ins. Of course, the surprising result of Omega shattering the run of the then Echo Super team, and of course, Blacklist versus Omega.
And then it was that barangay that went the farthest any 6-seed team has gone in the history of our league. They went to the finals. They actually tried to defend their MSC title in Malaysia later that year after going to the grand finals.
Against then RSG Philippines. That was the win when we still had like Naps, Eman.
Light was there.
Light was there.
Nomenkite was there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Those the boys.
Them boys.
Them boys, the Raiders. You know? Gosh, that was Season 9.
That was Joseph's first grand finals.
That was my first grand final. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that was a season where they would like swap out Aqua Exort in mid.
Yeah.
To win that little trade.
That's crazy though. 6th seed has never won the championship either. Now taking a look at this, Kelra and Severo, the stats here through MPL ID Season 17 and of course MPL Philippines Season 17. How close are they? Yeah. The KDA of Kelra obviously higher here, but a different environment I feel like also.
Not much of a scientist, but it looks like it's very close.
Yeah.
Top 3 for almost everything Severo. And of course, this is what you expect to see when you throw Kelra in MPL ID.
Yeah, and this isn't really a point of comparison. This is really more of just to show like the journeys between the two, just to see the parallels of how they're doing. It's crazy how a 5.9 KDA in the Philippines is 3rd highest, while an 8.55 KDA in Indonesia is 2nd. That's a big leap. The fact that it's almost like complete, like 3 whole numbers means just how much more kills and assists Kelra's getting in ID right now. GPM quite close, pretty much average in terms of these numbers.
That or just how many kills are expected out of players in MPL ID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just in general, not just Kelra.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, the environment there.
Violent environment.
I also think it's, you know, even if you're just looking at KDA here, it's like Severo brought some of that flavor to the MPL Philippines, and that's why I remember those first weeks we saw him play. What was it, the Moscow, when he was just the showing off the mechanics, you know, in the 1v1s, the 1v2s.
Was the YSS that put him?
Oh yeah, the
out
YSS
here,
as well. Yeah, the YSS.
Which, by the way, I have to correct myself. I did mention during Wolf, and Midnight's little podcasting was that it had 1 loss. No, it's still undefeated.
Oh, the YSS?
The YSS still undefeated.
His YSS.
Yeah, his YSS.
Okay.
Severo's.
So it's 5, is 6-0?
Yeah, 6-0.
6-0, yeah.
YSS in other people's hands, not so stellar.
Yeah.
So I have a question
about it.
Did Savera adjust to the Filipino playstyle? Or did Onyx adjust to allow for him to flourish in the Filipino meta?
I think I'm more in the boat of the second statement where Onyx did adjust in first, because despite them knowing that Severo at times could also just be left alone in lane like Helra,
yeah,
you see a few more rotations. You see more movements on at least his side of the jungle to pull away attention. Severo, compared to like his past with Onyx ID, plays the map a little bit more, doubles much more, opens up the side lanes and far lanes more. It's cool.
Yeah, I think there was a time too, like in the first couple of weeks, where you see Severo, you know, showing off his mechanics and everything else, but there was a time where it took him some time to cook, you know, and then I feel like the playstyle of Onyx themselves as a team kind of changed a bit. But you could also hear that if you had listened in on the Infinix the mic checks. You saw that kind of develop on how much he was able to communicate with his team and how he really adjusted to the Super Fam as well. Wait, so is this going to be a different draft? Or is it, okay, no. Maybe they're just going to go through some of the same picks.
Yeah. We will elapse up to the point where it conked out.
Yeah.
So, which I think was ban 2.
Yeah, so just wrapping up the second banning phase.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, just repicking first phase, and then we go to the second phase of ban.
Wait, so the difference is... Oh, wait, no, yeah.
Yeah, it's still all the same. Still all the same across the board here.
So, Kaja Marcel, red 4 and 5 ban. There it is, yep.
Maybe the ban of Onyx was what was going to be different. Like maybe they meant to ban something out in something else different than
on Lu 5.
Yeah, there's a Kaja. Yeah, because this was already the Trizla now. What was the last man? That's what we didn't see, so
yeah,
that's what was held up.
Kaja Pakiro. It did not work when you guys tried when it was tried out in MCT.
Yeah,
right?
MCT East Asia. Yeah, out Glue, so Glue will be the ban.
And there's a show. This is a light hero. I'll tell you now. That's a light hero.
Just as much as it's a Brusco, you know? So it's like, I like how they're trading things out and they're just being like, yep, now this time I'm going to get the show here. Yeah. They hand that over to Aurora.
They play more of this for control. This banks a lot of pressure onto Demon Kite to get Piercer and string kills together. Because you don't have an instant burst. You have strong displays. Oh, it's their turn to pick up the Belleric.
Oh man, I feel like I'm watching MCT Station with this, man. The Zetian, the last pick for Onyx. This is such an interesting draft from Onyx, especially the last two, Belleric and the Zetian.
Okay, so the Belleric ult helps supplement pretty much the entire lineup of Onyx. The Zetian and Belleric ults are difficult to actually make work for the layer of stuns, which an Alice into a Belleric now should temper a little bit of what Onyx can do, that they have to be careful to fight under Alice's passive. But even so, there's still no sure burst. There's going to be a lot of long team fights and displacements because there's a Cho on the other side.
And possibly a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the question is now, are Onyx prepared for this? Because rotation-wise, the Belleric will fall significantly behind compared to the Cho. The faster rotator on Onyx is actually their Baksha.
Yeah, maybe they're going to play into that. Maybe part of this too is you can't somehow, some way utilize the Belleric on this dangerous grass map in certain situations when they're fighting around objectives. That could be part of the play. Could be setting up the Paquito here for Kirk. I think there's more question marks on Onyx draft for Game 3 to see if the execution is going to be there. You guys can let us know what you think. We're going to be jumping into Game 3 in this best of 5 once again. Onyx